same one as yours. Just with a different scale and like configuration.
Doing combat models.
You just for helping me with
Okay, she get the voice going.
Hi, Nirta.
It is very colorful.
Hello, friend. Hey, friend. Hello, friend.
From a more tropical setting.
Well, do people know that I've been showing my feet this whole time?
I have to protect two beings now. What is this?
To be honest, I
don't think so.
I didn't even think you had feet modeled like toes.
Don't worry, I knew.
I thought it was like jabbers where they're just like a circle.
Mean.
Yeah, just like a little nub.
They're stilettos.
I didn't think anything bad of it.
Oh,
See?
I see.
I can take the
Oh!
boots off.
Oh! Oh!
Natural fox legs.
I kid, of course.
Oh! That's like when you look at
boot off and it was just a fully modeled foot.
It's like he didn't mind
The-
it at all either.
is it Japanese or is it people that like did the foot cramp thing where they shoved them in there? That's Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that
Yeah.
is. Is that a thing in Burrow? Do people do that? They crush their feet in shoes?
They would break their bone and then bind it in a way where it would heal back that way.
Yeah. Oh.
Binding baby.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I just thought it was just an iron peg leg, and you had
usually
two.
always good for bouncing things off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Also, you know,
I like to
very
just kind of
valid.
be a part of
Just
people's
have
stuff.
sword legs.
Help them wherever I can. Be a helpful
Don't give them
person.
ideas.
Um,
They already have
yeah.
a gun.
There's also
Tomato would do that.
If Ace
That's true.
is in here.
Have sword legs.
me, I vomit
Pip is also another good one to bounce stuff off of.
Just be Edward
what if I don't believe
Scissorhands,
in
but
armor?
not just hands. It's also your legs.
Kobold gang. Kobold gang. Kobold gang.
Bobby scissors.
Hoping Zechi would be here today, but I don't
Listen,
think
the amount of
he's...
e-girls I have
Kobold
that have
crew?
legs is...
We had a crew of kobolds.
Kobold
Hello.
gang, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
What do you call a group of kobolds? That's what I don't know.
We have 3 kobolds?
That's right. We have like 5.
They're all
There's
the
more
same
than that.
height, too, which is perfect.
Well, there's also Pip and Zechi.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what you call it. It's a group of kobolds is called a trash pit.
Trash pit.
No, don't lean into that.
Look, one person's treasure is another person's trash pit.
Kobolds over there.
Okay, sure.
Whoa.
Damn.
You do be breakdancing. Whoa, go.
You be breaking it down.
You're gonna puke up all your tomato.
Fire onto it. Jeez.
If not, the storyline's just kind of like.
She still doesn't understand that. How he is a pumpkin man, but he spews out
I
tomatoes.
think it's gonna be a pretty slow day.
That's how I was named. I do too. Jojo.
Today we're going to be renovating the church to make it into my cult. I mean religion.
In a patch between a pumpkin and tomatoes. You should bury the church underground for all your kobold friends and mushrooms.
That makes more sense.
Do you want to join me in communion?
No.
I thought you were just a pumpkin.
Oh.
It's okay, it's because you're a fan. I think I'm like 95% pumpkin, 5% tomato.
What if I say one of the tenets of the church is to use a gun whenever you feel like?
I don't need a church to tell me when to use a gun.
No, but then you could say that you've got God on your side. And the power of
I
anime.
have God and anime on my side.
Oh my god.
I was trying to make my my mushroom into a like wand or scepter or something, but it kept on breaking. All it did was made a blend shape that extended the stem so that I can hold it on. And when I took it into Unity, it would just make the stem disappear instead of doing what I wanted it to do. Like,
You got too thin.
no, it just boinks out of existence. So I gotta I'm gonna pick Trin or Mia about it and see what they know, because the big problem is Unity says there's something about a smoothing group I need to fix, but anytime I look up smoothing group for Blender, it brings up something that is called different in Blender, called a smoothing group, that doesn't have to do with what Unity calls it, so I have no idea what the fuck to do.
I'm still laying down.
So then,
It's like if
I already have something in mind for some other
if I feel like I'm gonna be a warrior.
Makes sense.
It's hard. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so do we have plans for today? Are we all gonna die today?
I have a plan.
You do?
I mean, you could if you want.
I don't wanna.
True, nothing's stopping you from dying.
I'm trying to stop the dying. I'm
The only
fighting
thing stopping
against
you
the
from
dying.
dying is yourself.
Yeah.
That's
You
canon.
can do it. I believe in you.
Kinda true. If
Remember,
I had a
kid,
do not
dare
resuscitate on
yourself
me,
to
then maybe.
die.
First session for me.
Dying builds character.
Oh, okay. I see.
Remember, death isn't the end.
Yeah.
What is?
Yes. True. I wasn't
I mean,
dead. I died
the credits.
like 3 more times.
The credits?
Oh,
What about the
Yeah,
post-credit scene?
You think this
You're
is
not
a
in that
Marvel
because
movie?
you died.
You can do it even faster if you
Well, yeah, you say the credits are the end, but then there's always like a tacked-on straight-to-DVD sequel.
You're right.
Yeah, they don't let you
Yeah, but those
die.
also have credits.
Yeah, but also,
There's soft credits, then there's hard credits.
yeah, but you say that's the end, but give it 10
Yeah, you're
years
right.
and there will be a soulless remake with a live-action adaptation to Netflix.
Damn.
How you feeling?
There is no war in Bossing Say.
The live-action adaptation of Waypoint, Fox is just a human.
No!
And they wouldn't allow for the touchy subject of racism and traditional wife Mormon setup thing that you got going on.
All the nuance of her character would be gone!
Yeah, we can't have that in the modern day.
That's true.
Mom sent me
That's very true. And Oberon would be played by Chris Pratt.
for Illinois.
Oh my god, that would be...
Titania would be Seth Rogen.
Oh my god, that'd be funny actually. Okay.
Okay,
Beautiful.
What's the
but
Seth Rogen laugh?
Mr. Grecius would be Jack Black because he's in everything now.
That's
Yeah, and it'd be great. They do a good job.
Ryan Reynolds would be Lawrence because you know he's made for that role.
No. Ryan
No.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yeah.
God.
God,
You don't even know metal.
enough.
I'm not. I don't have an excuse.
You got over Ryan.
I did. There's too many fucking Ryans. We have to remove some of them.
Could Eotidiss be played by Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's remove some of the Ryan.
It's just. He's just gone. That's
What are you saying?
I said, what if Eotidiss was played by Morgan Freeman?
beautiful. I can see it.
He's got the voice. Who would be Fizwick?
God.
Danny DeVito.
Turn on my lo-fi beats.
Yes, Danny.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey would be John.
I want you to test this potion. Over here.
John doesn't do
Jim Carrey would be
the
long
Grinch
nose.
smile though.
Beautiful. Aw, hell yeah.
But only Jim Carrey could pull off that nose work.
It's true. It's canon. That's accurate.
No, wait, better. What if Patrick Stewart was Fizwick?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I can see it.
I've turned on my lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax and study to. I'm gonna go sit at a stall for 4 hours.
Okay.
Fun jobber.
Have fun jerking
It's
it.
Fizwick, but he's still made to look small.
I will.
They just have him walking on his knees.
I gotta turn invisible first. There we go.
Oh, okay.
He just has a really
that's
long
right, I can do
cape
that now,
covers the
too.
knees.
That's right. I can do that now too. I can just.
Oh, you've joined the
this was
club.
Not even Viz.
You've joined the club
Well, I
of.
mean,
Whoop.
Turn invisible again.
Boop.
There's a fucking mushroom right here, and your mushrooms are still there.
Look, I'll turn it off if I need to. I'm just using it. I'm just saying. I got this. I could do this. I could also turn the spores on, but then hide the mushroom, and it looks like I just have... I have, like, colored dandruff dripping off of me.
You have pollen on you.
It is pollen.
Boop.
Now I just have to remember to not be on this model when I go into town. I actually turn back.
Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes when I turn invisible, my VR chat camera stops showing me. So I've been really iffy about using it. I don't know what causes it, it's just sometimes.
It's okay, the third map will be better for that, so it'll be like 1.0 again.
I don't know if it's
you
the
don't
map,
even
it might be the way I did invisibility. I just turned off the mesh.
No, sorry, I just meant like the need to go invisible in the first place to get
Oh, because we're popping out of... I don't care, I walk off the docks every day. Nobody's like sitting here hounding me for that.
Yeah, it's just, I know some people are like, but I want to start at this location, so having to walk all the way over. Or like coming from the forest, some people will join, walk all the way up to the tree. That's not role-playing, yeah.
We could just have a teleport spot over here to like go to the tree. That'd probably be good. I know we're like making a whole new map and everything.
Editable,
Oh, it's not at
but the
all?
map's not editable. Yeah,
Oh. Okay, I see then.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like I told you, the potion is
who are we having play Oberon then?
The only way it'll transform
In the live
someone
action?
is if they want to be transformed.
Oh god, who did we say? Oh, we said Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt? Yeah, that's fair.
That's
Who
not
do we
fair.
get?
I don't want Chris Pratt.
Who do we
I don't
get?
want Mario.
Who plays Nirta then?
Oh fuck. Who is it? Charlie Day?
Who?
From Always Sunny? Charlie, you ever see Always Sunny?
Yeah, but how? What? Why him?
What, you don't think he's perfect for Nirta? He's a
No.
little gremlin. He's a little kobold. He's a
But I'm not-
real-life kobold.
But I'm wholesome, and anyone from Always Sunny is not wholesome at all.
That's why I said the actor, not Charlie himself.
Yeah, but no.
Okay. All right. Who do you want? Who do you want?
Mila Jovovich.
Something to ponder over.
I recognize that name, but not the actor.
The Fifth Element, the chick from the Fifth Element, or the Resident Evil series, or the Monster Hunter movie.
I feel like Nirta wouldn't change at
Really? Her?
Yeah, she would be Nirta.
Like it'd just be like a big
Okay.
pink smoke.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if she could really get into the character though. I'm very complex. I have a lot of emotions and memory, and it'd be a very difficult
She's
role to
done
take
a
up.
lots of movies, so I'm sure she has a chance to get into Nirta.
See, this is what I'm saying. You don't even know how to talk like me. You're trying and you're failing.
Oh, wow.
You're making it look.
Wow. All right.
You're really selling me though, so keep it up.
You're
People will.
making me look bad.
Mom, can we have Nirta? Oh, we have Nirta at home. That's you.
No, dude.
Your off-brand Nirta.
That's fucked up.
Your Kroger brand Nirta. Your Kirkland.
Kroger? At least
Your
let me be
Kirkland
Trader
Nirta.
Joe's.
Trader Joe's? Look, one day when you make me butter chicken, I'll let you be Trader Joe's Nirta.
That's possible. I just want you to know that.
Kind of like what happened with.
Make me proud. Okay, laters.
Okay. Have fun.
Music. Jumping.
Eotidiss.
I can
Eotidiss.
just ask you a question. Eotidiss, I'm sorry. So, we had the whole thing where Nirta's gonna make Ted a suit, right?
Yeah.
Two things. First is I want you to decide what it looks like, because I do my own texture work. So just let me know, and you can do like what a Nirta would interpret a suit to be.
Okay.
So I'll, just let me know, and I'll work on it. The other thing is also up to you. Would Nirta know how to do like proper stitching, or is it going to look like very handmade? Is what I'm getting at.
Miss Fox in town is a master tailor of like 20 years, and Nirta basically got all of her memories from her. So I have like 20 years of tailoring. So yeah, I can make it look perfect. It should be.
Okay.
So
just let me know what you want it to look like.
Okay.
Or what Nirta wants it to look like, really. Because as I said, it's just like, hey, can you make it? And Nirta's like, yeah, I can do that. But we never actually talked about what it's going to look like. So hell, if you want to leave it up to you, if Nirta wants to talk to Ted, or if Nirta's like, oh, I got it.
Yeah. When I bump into you, I'll ask you about it then. I'll pick your brain, your Ted brain.
The lizards don't have very big brains, but
well,
you're a dragon. You're not a lizard. Well, I mean reptile, but But I'm planning to make multiple suits for Ted. So, because again, I got some ideas. I'm not going to go into detail, but being from a normal world, wearing the same suit every day, or even like every other day for Ted is very unusual. So, I want to make a few different designs.
Okay. Well, I'll think about it, but I'll probably bump into you and be like, hey, I know we talked about, like, making the outfit. Can I ask you, how do you feel about, like, metal plates on the side so that you don't get crushed by things or something like that,
Just as long as it's strictly something I can do with texture work, because actually adding stuff would be difficult to this.
Yeah, I know. But she's still gonna ask you stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah.
Do you need to have? It's fine. I just wanted to. Do you need to have a cane that has like a sword inside of it?
I wish.
Right. Maybe get you some sunglasses. Oh, I'm apparently falling 2 inches from the ground. Wow, amazing.
I'm actually planning on maybe doing like a hat and sunglasses. I haven't decided yet.
So we're gonna make you a pimp outfit. Got it. Ooh, I bumped a horse. We're horse bumping. Made them disappear. Rayleigh was there. We're not gonna talk about it until I find out what happened shortly after that, basically. Hey Silver, hey Shadow Panda. Rayleigh then fought Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler? Is that one of the admirals? Are you talking about Kizaru? The light guy? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not bad. Pretty easy trip this morning.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear it. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question.
All right.
What do you know about dragons?
Not much. They don't really come underground. I don't avoid them.
Okay. But you don't know, like, a history of them, or, like, there's no, like, dragon thingies that ever been to Burrow or something?
I mean, if I had to, like, pick a stance on them, I don't really believe in them.
I've been told that they really don't like the Fae, so I thought that maybe you would know something about them. But maybe that's like that guiltiness by befriending thing that I've heard of.
No. So, you mean like the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing? Oh, no. I don't think I believe in them.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they exist. I mean, people say they exist, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, I haven't seen it. And, the only person who says he's seen it is, a little bit crazy.
That's fair. So you wouldn't know anything about, like, chilly winds, meaning, like, dragons are coming, or anything like that?
If you were talking about, like, cold weather being an indicator of draconic invasion, no.
Okay. Then it does sound a little bit weird when you put it that way. Okay.
Yes, also it's one of those things where it's like, how would that even work? Like, if like the stories you're going by, like they're probably giant, and how could something that big fly? That makes no sense.
Probably magic.
Doesn't look like they use magic, right? Like, don't they have wings? Like, are they magic wings? Do they just, like, stay still? I guess magic would work. I always forget about that stuff.
Plus, they're like, if there's something that you haven't even seen before and they're, like, fabled, then that probably means they do, like, hiding away, tricky stuff if they are real, so they probably do, like, tricksy magic things.
Oh, so maybe they just are different flavor of fae.
Maybe. Like a competing flavor.
Yeah, like, it's just another type of fae. So honestly, probably, if I came across one, probably fight it. Well, not personally. I'm not really a fighter, but put together the soldiers and, like, put together, like, the private armies and, maybe fight it with those.
Okay.
If it's gonna try and, like, take over territory, like, if it's gonna be a problem, obviously you have to get rid of it. Right?
But even if they were like, hey, I'm a big old stompy dragon, and I'm gonna eat Oberon and, like, smoosh Shiva and things like that, and, like, I'm gonna crush it all the courts, you wouldn't be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna side with you?
Not really, because I don't know if they're gonna come after us next.
Would you side with the Fae
I'm not
against
gonna
them?
stop them. No, not at all.
What if I sneezed?
Where's with that?
Sorry. Excuse me.
No, well, so it's sort of the thing of, like, they're, like, against the Fae. Great. Do your own thing. Don't bother us. We don't like the Fae because, they bother us. So, like, it's sort of a combative environment where they kill us, we kill them, they kill us, we kill them. Honestly, at this point, who knows how it started? But, if, like, a dragon was real... Oh, yes? Go ahead?
I know how it started.
Oh, sorry, I was being facetious. I don't care. I like killing them.
Oh, okay.
You can tell me, but, if you...
Nah, you don't care, it doesn't matter.
Alright.
I really think once you hear why, it would not persuade you whatsoever to not do it, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, okay, so that actually makes me feel better. We were in the right, huh?
No, it's not so much you were in the right, it's just that both sides thought that the other side caused it, and once you hear it, you'll just be like, well, yeah, they caused it.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense, obviously. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, I guess... Yeah, so if there was sort of some big, large lizard thing, dragon, sort of,
yeah,
as if they existed in the first place. I've seen innumerable things show up. Yeah, presumptuous to assume they exist in the first place, obviously. I would sort of be concerned that, why are they showing up now? And do they want something from the burrow, or are they going to kill us? If they're going to kill the Fae, great. But if ideally they would wipe each other out.
But you wouldn't take a side in that?
Personally, no. War is good for business, but I don't want to, like, sell to either side. I wouldn't really be making much out of it.
Okay. Interesting. In that case, then... Do you know if anyone from Burrow would be very interested in joining the dragons or stopping the dragons?
I mean, I don't really have my finger on the pulse of the political situation in Burrow, so I don't really know kind of what our stance is on mythical beings.
Okay. I know, you're very involved in your work and your family and everything.
I mean, plenty of people in Burrow would, like, you know, suckle at the teat of power, so to speak.
Yeah, power teats.
I mean,
yeah.
we have a lot of schmoozers and, like, brown nosers that, like, will do anything for somebody in a position of power in an attempt to get any sort of benefit.
Oh, speaking of which, did you get anything for shooting Oberon in the hands? I saw the very nasty marks you left on him.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I haven't really been able to prove it. So, you know, I bragged about it for sure, but it's not really something I can prove unless, like, I, like, bring Oberon and, like, show people the hand. But I'm just kind of hoping, and maybe Oberon will encounter a couple people, and then they'll live and be able to see the hand and be like, oh, that's what Fox did.
Okay. I hope that pays off for you.
Yeah, me too.
You seem to be okay with that.
Oh, with, like, you know, I mean, I wasn't really doing it. I mean, definitely bonus points, but I mean, it's not really. Did it more for myself.
I know. It's
my
just,
own ego.
I kind of expected him to be a little bit more upset about it, but he was just like, oh, look, I got holes in my hand now.
I know. I also hoped he would be more upset about it, but you know how he is. If I wanted him to be upset, he wouldn't be upset just to spite me.
Yeah, he's got this thing where, like, when you want to make him mad, he was really nice and like, you know, exactly.
Yeah, he's doing it. I mean, obviously, I know it bothers him, but he's not showing it, which bothers me. So, you know, yeah.
Yeah, he's got your sheep, or your cow, or your goat. He's got your goat.
He's got my goat. Got my goat?
Yeah, I heard that. That's when, like, somebody knows how to, like, make you upset. They have your goat.
Oh, they have my goat. Interesting. I mean, I guess I could say that.
By this time, oh, yep, he's right over there now. So he's in Mr. Gracious's chair. Part of me makes
sort of an agreement.
Want to, like, shoo him away. I feel like that's Mr. Gracious's thing. He spends enough time in there, maybe he should just get his own chair to put in there.
Oh, possibly.
By the way, you're not, like, upsetties about me being a tailor in town and people asking me for tailor stuff, are you? I know I've asked you before,
No,
but...
I took that as part of the bargain.
Okay.
I've sort of like branched more into import-exports from Burrow.
Okay. Just making sure,
You know,
because,
like getting people bodies and, like, paper and books and stuff.
Okay. As long as you're doing okay, I don't want you to get, like, in trouble with not having, like, monies and stuff.
No. I significantly inflated my prices to a vast degree early on in case this happened.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Just, I saw Mr. Ted wanted me to make him a suit, and I was thinking, oh, you should go to Miss Fox. And then he was like, but aren't you a tailor? And I'm like, you know what, you're right. That's true. That is a true thing. So.
Right. That's true. No, go ahead.
Okay. Alright.
About it.
In that case, then, if you hear about any dragons nonsense or something like that, just keep in mind that they really hate the Fae, so they might be a good customer too, but they do magical stuff, so maybe they're not, but I thought I'd let you know if you wanted to know.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Is the little fox or Scrimble here?
I think they're dead. I mean,
Wait,
hopefully-
what? What?
What? What?
They're dead? All they die?
I mean, I hope
How do you
so.
know this?
I don't know.
You don't
Just kind of
know?
hope. They're not around. I assume they're dead. That's sort of, positive thinking. You know how it is?
But aren't they like your business associates? Aren't they supposed to like help you with the business
Well-
and stuff?
I mean, yeah, but they're still Fae.
But like they help you with your business and stuff, so you would want them around, right?
Well, yeah, but I could replace them or something. Not really too much of an issue.
Okay, well, I want to make good on our deal to continue to raise the value of my eye. So if you see them, let them know that Nirta is ready to imbibe on the power teat that they have.
I will let them know if they're still alive.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Fox. You have a good day. Take it easy.
Of course. You too. Always do.
Yeah, but don't everybody know?
Hi, Catherine and Mr. Ted.
Hey, hello. Do you know who that is?
The tree?
Apparently there's... No, behind,
There's a creature in the bush
behind
over there.
tree across the river in the bush.
It just moved. It's gone.
What are we talking about? I don't know who that is. They might be new.
What is this?
Looks like Mr. Fizwick and Jasper is on it. Hmm.
Is it anybody you recognize?
I barely know anyone.
What do you mean, Lou? You know so many people.
Shut up, Nirta.
See? You know me.
When I came into this town, I didn't know anyone, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, nobody did, because we don't know. But you now know so many people.
Never know.
You know Mr. Fizwick. You know me. You know Wayne.
I don't like Wayne.
Yeah, but you know him. There's Mr. Pomato.
It's not worth knowing. Tomatoes nice.
Yeah, and there's John. And the other John. 2 Johns.
Oh, yeah, I know both of them. I had to think about it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other John? Oh yeah, John Long.
And you know Fifi, the male lady, right? She's a harpy with the wings.
Who?
Miss Fee.
Oh! Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I never heard of that one.
And Mr. Lawrence, you know Mr. Lawrence.
I don't know about that one.
Mr. Lawrence. And the tavern. Hey, Wayne.
Never got their name. Never actually talked to them either. Does it matter what kind of string?
You need string?
I mean, possibly one that doesn't break. We need some kind of thread for a fishing pole.
All string breaks eventually, Mr. Wayne. I cannot promise you it will not break.
Could I get in return?
But why? What?
Can I get in return?
You cannot get a refund on a piece of string.
I can give you thread.
It's not
What's
a
it for?
specific kind of string. It's something more stronger than string, but it would work.
So I'm trying to fish out a giant monster in the lake bed or sea, and I need a fishing pole. But I
Okay.
apparently need string that's not gonna break.
String that's not going to break. For a big
Everything will
monster?
eventually break, but I probably know the strongest thing we got. It's something I have.
And what do you got?
Well, you're gonna need something.
Spider silk.
Yeah, spider silk would be really good, actually. It's got very good pulley strength on it. Up. Well.
Abyss token.
Well, in that case then, as Wayne's surrogate, Michael, you're going to want something with tensile strength. We could get spider silk. I don't know how much Lou has, but...
I already have it.
Lou already has it. There. Perfect. I would assume that'd be really good
I
for
want
it.
to know what I would get in return, though.
What?
Indeed.
You're not a fae.
I'd be willing to give it, but...
That's still tradey.
No,
You're still
everything
asking
is
for their
free.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm not asking it. It's Wayne that's asking.
Yeah, but
fair.
right now
Probably
Wayne is
my own
disposed.
shit.
Yeah, but you're Wayne's surrogate right
The
now.
most I'll get out of Wayne is a pancake to the face.
Do you want that?
Well, it's not even just.
No,
it's
he's
not
just
even
gonna
just
throw it
that
at
we
me.
need the. What, the pancake? Yeah, he might.
Yeah, exactly. He would just throw it at me. He wouldn't even actually give it to me.
Yeah. Either way, point being, not just that we need the string, but we also need the rod itself. And
That's not hard to do.
we gotta get the some type of material in the forest for the rod itself, and then monster's tooth as well in the forest.
Why a monster
That
tooth?
will not work.
That's what Oberon said.
Oh.
Gonna work.
It's his.
Yeah, I would trust
it's
him
his
then.
daily quest. Since Grecius isn't here, so it's his daily quest. He's taking over.
Okay. Well, that's nice of him to be giving things out for
Monster's tooth, I don't
people.
know about that one.
What about the giant worm? Do you think you could get a tooth from that? I bet that'd be a big one.
No.
It's possible. It's possible.
Even though that sounds really dangerous.
Although the worm's tooth would be extremely razor sharp and
Nirta?
have a lot of jagged edges.
I don't mean to interrupt, but this new guy only seems to speak in your language there with the kobolds.
The draconic? Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when Wayne gets poofed back into existence, figure out what he wants. Don't let him muscle you out of it, okay?
Yeah,
He's over here.
I'm gonna give him anything.
As you can see, many new people have come to town.
It's another person I don't have.
I don't know the exact details.
Or one of them that you were talking about?
Oh, no, none of these people are fake.
No. The
Hey,
other
Nirta.
kobold that you were talking about.
Hello?
Yeah, this is another kobold. This is Nirta.
Well, don't come too close.
He's
please.
jumpy. He doesn't like people being too close.
Out of character. Are we speaking draconic right now?
No.
Okay.
Jasper doesn't know Draconic.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I just got here. I kind of just woke up down what I would assume be the docks down there.
Yeah. That's the portal. Hello. I am Nirta, Kobold Druid of the Spores. Serpent of the Emerald Dragon. Somewhat of a liaison to the Autumn Court. I do mushroom things. Are you hungry?
How much supper you got going on? Yeah. I mean, I just had a nap, so I'm a little bit peckish, I guess.
You like mushrooms?
I don't know last time I actually had to... I mostly eat fruit.
Mostly fruit. We have fruit up at the farm. We've got like apples, and I don't know if aubergine's a fruit, but it's like very colorful like a fruit. We've got tomatoes. I'm told they're a fruit. Is corn a fruit? We got corn.
I don't think corn's a fruit.
So.
Okay, I don't.
An apple would be nice.
Do you have a name?
The name is Zach.
Zach?
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
Hi, Zach. Nice to meet you. So, what were you doing before you got magically teleported to this place?
I was just kind of sleeping in the forest that I usually hang around in.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, everybody here is kind of the same way. We were doing like normal everyday things, and then suddenly we're in this place, and we didn't know what we were doing or where we are. So I understand if you're very confused, because I was. Jasper was, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a rather shock.
Ted thought he was in a bad
Walking
dream.
around the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I'd come on over because, you know, reptiles get along and all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Do
Pleasure
you
to
want?
meet you.
Do you want to touch my hand to show that you're not in a dream right now?
At the moment, I would want to avoid physical contact.
Okay.
If you please.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If I may ask you,
Eh?
Okay, so you don't speak Lizardon. I got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, should have one that was.
I was saying my name is Ted.
That is Ted.
Okay.
That's true. It's a
Hi,
true
Ted.
statement. Mm-hmm. And that's Jasper.
Name is Zach. Yeah, we've been introduced before you got here.
Well, I don't know what would make you feel more comfortable, but if there's anything I can do, you could just tell me.
And
Why don't you
keep
go
that
ahead
in
and get
mind.
him an apple?
I can get you an apple. Would you want an apple? Do you know what an apple is?
Yeah, I do know what those are.
Okay. Do you want to stay here?
I
I'll go
really
get you
like
an
apples.
apple.
Yeah, I can just be right here.
Alright, I'll be back.
Do you want a drink?
So to speak.
Oh, John.
Yes.
By the way, I talked to Miss Fox, and she doesn't know anything about the you-know-whats that might be coming to you-know-where. So that might mean that the borough isn't necessarily allied with you-know-what.
Wait, hold on.
I thought that was relevant information.
Hold on for a second.
No, you got to.
Hey,
I gotta
Wayne.
go get an apple.
I'm not your storage.
Do you know
dude.
about what's coming to the town?
Are you? We talked about
There's nothing
this
coming.
yesterday. Do you really want to let him know?
Oberon said that I'm trying to see if Oberon was telling, if he was accurate about what he said about the whole town knowing by this point.
What?
Is he on Sealy trying to raise an army again?
No.
So
Always.
looks like
Yeah, Kizaru, he sounds like a real piece of shit. He's always got his pursed lips. Ooh! Picturing him in my head, I can definitely see the Adam Sandler comparison. So I see what you're onto there. Sounds like such a dick, too. Okay, so let's get an apple. We've already got some down here. Unless Miss Rebecca ate them all. I don't see anybody else in town. I miss Jojo.
That is true. Some of these human stuff do.
This is bound to happen eventually.
Because the forest is dangerous.
But this apple
Let's
isn't.
get him a little more acclimated to this world before we get into the forest. But yeah, and don't talk to any of the Fae ever.
I warned him about the Fae.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's very red. It's very delicious.
You ain't got any silver crisps?
Oh, how about a what?
Yeah, that's good.
Silver crisp apple? No?
Silver crisp apple?
I don't know if you would want to eat a
Yeah, I
silver
can
apple.
No, it's not literally silver. It's a type. They call it that because it's got the color. But don't worry about it.
Okay. Is that good?
As
Don't
you
get
look
too
back,
close. He's
as you look
scared
back
of-
over him, he's already kind of done with it, and it's just completely gone. The core and all.
He's good.
He's another kobold. He's not from my world.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think anyway.
I wasn't sure.
Did you have a dragon that you served?
The lines happened to come through as well. But...
Yeah, I was under the
Kind of nice to save all
servitude
the
of a
slaves
very
from
big
the
dragon.
world, if I'm honest.
Of a what dragon?
Yeah, it would.
I wouldn't know exactly what he is. He's just, I know that he's very big.
Do you know what color he
I
is?
didn't check up on. Mostly red.
Mostly red. Do you know what did you do
Yeah.
for them? What work did you do?
It's just kind of general stuff, just like keeping the cave clean and just making sure everything was in order whenever he was out.
Did you take care of eggs?
Every now and again, yeah, but that wasn't my main thing. That was more like a side thing when,
So you
when there
didn't.
wasn't anyone there.
You didn't have strict. Did somebody tell you what you were supposed to do, or did you just do things on your own?
We had like mostly like they had told us what to do beforehand, but we got to, I guess, a little bit decide, not majorly, but we got to decide sometimes if you wanted to do something else then.
Okay. Not a strict hierarchical structure without like direct orders from the dragon. Based on my own experience, kind of red, probably just a red dragon. I don't think that would be a ruby dragon. Or a rust. Probably not.
So you just kind of lived, in the forest, just hanging out. Did you have a house? Did you have a?
It's mostly in like the cave that we were whenever, but I like to sleep out in the forest a lot during my time there.
Yeah, I get that. I spent most of my time in the caves, but then whenever I went outside, I got to see the night sky, and it made me want to stay outside a lot. Okay. Well, I'm not going to push you to do anything, but if you end up wandering around and exploring before nighttime, if you want to go to the kobold den, we've got a little cave behind the farm that's up on the top of the cliff up there. So if you want to come stay with the other kobolds that have come here, we got a place. But don't let me push you if you like to stay out here.
Both of us can show you later.
Yeah. If one of you could show me later, that would be nice.
Sure. Jasper, I have some pressing matters to take care of. If you guys need anything, let me know, but I'm gonna go try to take care of something, okay?
Okay.
Ted, I do need to talk to you. You wanted a suit, right?
Yeah.
Do you have, like, a favorite color?
Man, I like blue.
I don't know if this is
You like blue? Okay. I like blue.
What
Do
are
you
those?
plan on going out in the forest a lot with other people? Do you need to have it be, like, padded with things so that it doesn't get all scratched
The ones
up?
that's beside the slings. What are those?
I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but if I go out in the forest, it'd be nice not to have, my nice suit destroyed. So,
I never.
I mean, if you can do that, I guess.
Before.
Okay.
I'm not very strong though, so don't think you can go and add like 20 pounds to my arms. That's all.
It's kind of
Okay, so not a lot of weight. Pockets? Do you need lots of pockets for things like little doodads and whatnots?
It's kind of like a
Definitely.
Definitely lots of pockets on it. Okay. I noticed that
In
you
fact,
don't.
I was even thinking about getting some kind of pouch.
Oh, a pouch.
A lot of
Okay.
them have
Yeah.
more pale skin,
We
it
could probably do like an Uh-oh. Hey, Robbie! I accidentally hit the horse statue! Oops. I accidentally clicked on the horse statue and went to the break room. I accidentally clicked on the horse statue. Don't do it! Don't do it!
What's the green room?
It was supposed to be like an out-of-character place to hang out, but it's completely broken. So if you go there, you'll just be in like a glitched-out room. But I'm gonna stand here and talk to you.
Alright, so nobody click on the death, death statue.
So I was thinking we could get like pockets. I've noticed that you don't have any outward-facing buttons on your suit. Do you want any buttons showing on it, or would you rather have them all be hidden buttons? Just fasteners?
Whatever's easier. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. This just happened to be a fancy one because with my job, but I don't mind a visible button or two.
Okay, but I was asking just
I'm not
because of
exactly
flavor.
selling cars around here, so
I figured not having buttons because then when you're in the forest, they will be like caught on the. Well, we're going for something
be a bit
lighter.
much.
We're looking for something lighter, you know.
Well, then he can't.
I mean,
he can't be stabbed. Or
Wayne has a very
possibly,
nice,
or-
like longer dress type thing. Do you want a beautiful dress like Wayne has?
I gotta say, it looks great on Wayne. I don't think this is gonna work for me though.
Mm-hmm. What about his shoes? Do you like those shoes?
I don't want to get too close.
Again, they look very fancy. A little too much for me. I like my nice durable loafers. Probably go for some boots actually. Some nice, durable boots.
Well, I haven't done a lot of shoemaking, but I could probably give a try at that too. But yes, what we could do
You
is
seem
maybe.
to have offended Wayne so much he disappeared.
This is the second time that's happened. I think the Fae just have him today. They got him in their little clutches. But here's what I'm thinking. We get you a nice blue suit, probably with... We don't want to do blue on blue with the tie and the undershirt. So probably also stay away from green because you've already got a nice level of green yourself going on. So I'm thinking we'll just invert the colors. Where you've got the blue tie, we'll make that a gray tie with a blue suit on it. Maybe we'll do some like interior padding on it and then leave the outside to be easily replaceable. We could stitch that up, maybe have some padding on it there. And then we're just going to do pockets galore so you could stuff things in there, but we're going to keep them all hidden on the inside. That way they don't get all, caught on things out in the forest, because you don't want to be running through the forest and then get snagged on something,
Let me ask you this, because you're making it, I feel like you should have some say in the design. So instead of a gray tie, because gray tie is kind of, it's kind of boring in my opinion. I could do a purple, how about a purple tie, because you're making it,
I could do that.
It'd be a touch of Nirta.
How does this sound? Blue, but very thin purple pinstripes, and then the tie can be purple with blue stripes on it. That way it kind of ties the whole thing together. You don't sound like you exactly like that, so, we can Put that on the back burner then.
Where I come from, some people might refer to that as gaudy.
Gaudy.
But, I mean, again, this is your thing. So I mean, if you think it'll look good,
You don't like stripeds?
It's not that I don't like stripes, but purple and blue they don't usually go together where I come from. But hey, if you can make it work, then by all means, give it a shot.
Okay. What we could do then, maybe take it in a different direction. You have the blue suit, and we do white pinstripes on it, and then you have the purple tie, and it also has white stripes on it. That way, again, it pulls it together, but then we aren't blending the two colors. We're using a third tertiary color as the bridge between the two.
So let me just get this straight. A blue suit with white stripes.
Very thin.
And
vertical.
What was the tie?
Tie purple that also has white stripes on it. I guess we could do a solid for that. That way it's not too overstriped.
No, I don't mind the stripe. The ties are supposed to... I love a gaudy tie, to be honest.
Oh, so what we could do... Okay,
They
knowing
say
that, what if we didn't even have
in the
like a
business
simple
world,
pattern?
you want to be serious, but a silly tie lets people know that you're not too serious.
Okay, then what I'm thinking is we do like a very shiny blue suit. Looks very flat, very basic, but we can accentuate that with like a purple tie, and maybe it's got like some things on it, like a little cars or whatever it is that you sold. Like maybe you could show me a picture of a car if you could draw it, and then we can have like little cars on your tie, like that. And then when people go, what is that? You could be like, oh, I was a car salesman in Pennsylvania, and this is what we would sell. Can I interest you in a car?
If I was back home, I would love that. But around here, can't really sell any cars.
Can't sell cars, but it would be a good way to talk about where you came from. And people would be like, oh, there's Ted the car guy.
True. Very true.
If anything, something I've learned is having something nice to cling onto from your home is really nice, so that you don't feel like you've lost yourself here. You don't have to, but if that sounds like something you want, I would definitely make that.
I tell you what, I like where you're going, but I have a different idea. But let's just stick to one thing at a time.
Okay.
So, maybe we'll revisit that. But, the blue suit, I like the blue suit idea. And if you want to do the purple tie with the white stripes, or even if gold, you got the gold on there, you want to have a touch of gold. I mean...
Oh. Yeah, blue and gold I think is a wonderful combination. What if we were to break up some of the blue suit by having like leather pads where your elbows are and where your, well, maybe not the knees, but just the elbows. Like that'd be a nice little leather accent there.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about, some protection from the forest, I mean, I guess, some elbow pads would be helpful.
Yeah, if you end up having to do some climbing or something, it'd be nice to have.
And some weight painting to do. Good lord, what is that?
How do you feel about shiny versus not shiny? Do you think shiny would be too much? Because I think, having some nice shine, a sheen on your suit would probably look pretty good.
I don't think a shine would be very good in the forest if I'm trying to, avoid getting attacked by monsters.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't go with blue. I'd probably go with greens. And then by then you would just be a big blob of green, but then monsters wouldn't see you.
Yeah, but it's still something I'd like to, walk around town in, so I don't want to be walking around as a giant green bean.
Okay, so non-shiny, blue suit, leather pads. We go with the purple tie. Do you like mushrooms? I could do like a mushroom thing for the tie.
I'm not really as big fan of mushrooms as you are, but again, if you want to put a little taste on there, as a touch of Nirta,
Okay.
As I said, I don't.
Maybe I should
mind,
consider
a silly
branding.
tie. So for the tuxedo, I mean, if you want to do the blue or just the regular blue or the blue with the white stripes, that's both of those are fine. But for the tie, I can leave that up to you. If you want it to be purple and white, purple and gold, purple with a mushroom on it, it's up to you.
All right. In that case, then, I will take all of this feedback into consideration, start work on the project, and then give me like 2 to 3 business days, and then I will get back to you with progress on the commission work.
Okay, you said you would need some supplies, though.
Yes, probably. I'm gonna like write up everything that I need for it tonight, and then I will give you an invoice tomorrow, and then start work on the project depending on what I need. I don't want to give you a list of supplies yet until I check with my design sheet to know what I'm looking for.
Okay, you let me know. We'll figure it out.
Probably some spider silk, though. That stuff is just amazing, very durable, and I'll probably be using a lot of that for the suit. Just, if you want to get a jump on that, there's no way I won't be using that.
I mean, that's very true, but, pardon me from the difference where I come from. Spiders are just these little things that take, thousands of years to get any kind of silk out of them to make clothing. Are you telling me there's giant spiders around here?
Precisely. Look, Mr. George, and I'm trying to think of who else that's still around. Do you know Mr. George, the skeleton? He was able to get enough silk put together so that I can get his outfit put together. So you might want to ask him where he got his spider silk from, and then maybe I can get you that suit.
There is a giant bat spider thing in the cave. If you want to fight that.
I already almost died in the cave once, so I don't want to go back again, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be the only easier way of getting your silk.
Well,
check
know,
with
that
George,
Liza
because
lady said she would protect me if I went in the forest. Maybe I'll have to ask her.
No, there you go. That could be it. Otherwise, I'll tell you tomorrow what I need from you, and then we can hash that out and get your suit ready in like a couple days.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, I like doing the shaking on it.
Yeah.
It feels official.
It's very common where I come from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People are like really touchy about doing the whole holding hands thing and doing that, and I don't know why, but I think it feels good. It feels like you're actually like, saying for surezies we're doing this.
They get nervous about shaking hands. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't shake hands with a fae or nothing.
Well, you just got to be very certain of whatever deal you made if you shake hands with the fae. Very, very specific. All the words, you need to make sure the words don't have more than like one meaning. If they've got like 5 meanings, just don't use that word at all. Stuff like that.
Yeah, Miss Ivy was telling me something about that.
And definitely.
Don't you wish we could just... Nobody seems to like the fae. Why can't we just get rid of them?
I like the fae. You just gotta treat them like special peoples. Like, you ever have anybody in your family, your friends, or in your business, like, that was, like, really, really bad at a couple of things, but, like, really good at a couple other things? Like, maybe they don't speaks very well or reads very well, but they can, like, do really good at hoisting a boulder over their head?
I can't say anybody in my family could lift a boulder, but yeah, we had some folks in the family. They were good at, pretty good things, and maybe I would say they were not great as, people.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I meant more like, especially Mr. Oberon, like, you have to be very careful with what you say around him, But once you get to know him, he's not actually trying to harm you. It's just that the Fae don't really understand non-Fae people all too well, and so when they think they're helping, they're not really helping. But that said, there are people like the little shadelings that are definitely just out just to make your life miserable, so, you know. There are good Fae, there are bad Fae, they're just like peoples. You just have to be very touchy around them.
I mean, I kind of feel like Oberon is, you know, he reminds me of some folks where I come from, and, you know, we would refer to them as the sort of person who had their head up their ass, to be honest.
I don't know exactly what
you know,
that means, but I get the picture, and that's probably true.
It's a turn of phrase, don't take it literally. I mean, just don't take it literally, but, you know. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, yeah, I will talk to George, and you let me know what you need, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Ted, if not sooner, if something else comes up.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now I need to find Mr. John. Did you get all of your fishing stuffs?
No, we're probably gonna end up going to the forest at some point. Not right now.
Okay. Just don't use
Only
bones
left
from
because
the
they said no,
cemetery. That's becoming a contentious issue.
Why would people use bones for?
I don't. It just keeps happening, so don't do it.
Nirta, sometimes you're like the voice of reason here. This is why I love you sometimes. You're the only one that keeps us sane.
Good morning, Mr. Oberon.
Can I help you, Nirta?
Not necessarily. I just wanted to stop in. I see that Mr. Gracious isn't here today.
Yes, I'm taking a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to leave the chair cold?
Absolutely. We want to have
Plus, I
nice
get
warm
to talk to
chairs.
everyone. Yes, you'd be surprised how many more people talk to me when I sit here than if I'm just out and about.
Right. It is like the gracious appeal, I feel like. He's got himself like a nice spot here. Between you and me, I think he did something magic with it to get people to come and talk to him. But I don't know for sure. Do you feel a magic aura?
Possible. He is a very strange one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel wonderful when I sit here because people I like always seem to keep dropping by. What can I help you with?
Hi. I was just hoping if you've seen Fezwick around? I may have discovered something important. Oh?
And what did you discover?
Something that I want to talk to him about first. Do you know which way he went?
I believe he went that way somewhere, so I would assume he might be somewhere.
Mm.
Fair enough. I just came from there, so I'm assuming he's on the upper level. Thank you!
Yes, of course, dear.
I'm surprised you didn't make her have to play a game or something.
Well, given the situation at hand, and, you know, favoring the people I like to make them like me more, means I have a chance of being protected when the dragons come.
You're really concerned about this.
Why would I not be?
Well, you know, to be honest, I've not really seen you very concerned about things. Even when Miss Yunomi got out of the teapot and that whole situation, you only seemed like minorly upset about it, from my perspective. And I really thought you were going to be way more mad about it.
Well, she was awful. She did kill many Fae as well, but... Can you count to 1,000?
Can? Probably. Would I? Probably not.
Can you count to 100,000?
Again, can, but I won't do it. That's just going to take a long time.
What about a number you can't think of?
I think by, like, definitions that'd be not possibles to do.
So which one do you think is scarier? The one you could, or the one you can't imagine?
Probably the one I can't imagine.
Yeah. They've been gone for so long. Thought they just left. Somehow. But they didn't, of course, because you can't. So, they're coming back.
Were you there when they were here first?
Of course I was. I was there before they were there.
Was there a time when you weren't here?
Probably. I wouldn't know that, though.
Well, what happened the first time they were here?
I'm not just going to give you information for free now. It's not like that. You have to earn it. I already gave the people a quest to go make a fishing rod, and that would learn why the dragon specifically hates the Fae, and we hate them. It's a very simple reason, to be honest.
Well,
but you can't get that for free.
So you're saying someone else is already going to know them when they finish their quest?
Well, I will tell them when they make the fishing rod for Wayne. I needed to make a quest. Wayne had something he wanted to do. Simple.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't want to push your buttons or tell you how to do your Fae transactional thingy, but it sounds like you're really concerned about these dragon things, but at the same time you don't want to tell me information about the dragon things. You want me to be friends with you so I can protect you, but then you're going to withhold information that I might use to protect you? Sounds a little weird, Mr. Oberon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to do your thing, but is there something you want me to do to learn about the dragon thing then?
Well, you could go read the books in the library. I've heard plenty of people talking to themselves at night doing that. Ivy was one of them. You could go help Wayne with his project.
Okay.
Or you could just give me something of equal value. Just because I'm afraid of dragons doesn't mean I will die. I most likely would, but I'm going to hide, so they won't find me.
Sure.
I will be fine. I just want the town to prosper. Should you choose them?
I know you do.
Which for you, you're more inclined to one side, Nirta.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I did talk to Miss Fox earlier, and it seems like she doesn't know anything about dragons. So maybe the Burrow, even though they don't like the Fae, maybe they aren't going to side with the dragons. Because it sounds like the dragons are also magic, and so they're kind of just against all magic. So that might be useful. Might be a way to get the Burrow and the Fae to be a little bit more friendly-like if you have a common enemy with the dragons, because they're an even more powerful thing than the Fae.
Possibly.
Possibly. So...
I've been trying to get to the Burrow forever, and I finally did. So... Who knows what could happen?
Alright, well, I'm gonna keep on looking into things on the dragon front. I might end up helping Wayne with his thing, but at the same time, I don't like hanging out with Wayne in the forest because he likes to fight stuff, and I don't like fighting stuff, and, you know, I don't want to get hurt. I'm more of a talky person.
Just tell him to not fight stuff.
Yeah, telling Wayne to do things is different from what Wayne will do. He's a very single-minded individual, you know.
Nurture, you're Fae. The more single-minded someone is, the easier it is to control them. If you want him to do something, dangle what he wants in front of him. I would expect better by now.
Yeah, but I don't like manipulating people. I like honesty and straightforwardness. You should know that.
I do, but unfortunately, Some things just don't work.
Maybe. It's true. You can't have one thing, one size fits all. It doesn't always do that.
Yes.
Well, I also have the diary Miss Titania gave to me. That might have some secrets in it. I wasn't able to read it last night, but I gotta do some reading for that too. We'll see. Also, maybe get some more eyeball knowledge from Miss Little Fox. Lots of things.
Yes, that's something you could do.
Well, enjoy being the center of attention, Mr. Oberon. I'm gonna go try to take care of things. And try not to worry too much about the dragons. I got your back.
Thank you, Nirta.
Do
be careful with Titonia's diary.
I will.
In this case, it's not yours.
It was made here.
Towns. It's the public shovel!
It is a public shovel in that case.
Yeah!
Is that Moyi's shovel?
Attempted homicide.
Yeah,
We're trying to define what constitutes legal ownership of things.
Well, I mean, it was hers. It was Moyi's shovel.
No?
Well,
I
look at
borrowed
that.
it. I put it back.
Yeah, exactly. You put it back because it didn't belong to you. So it's hers.
Well, yeah, no, it was a public shovel.
Well,
we just established that the shovel was not purchased nor created. It was here when we
was
arrived.
created.
Like-
It could have been created. It's not like it came out of nowhere. Who knows?
Well,
this
that's where
one?
all
It
these
had to have been
buildings
created.
came from, out of nowhere.
No, I heard that someone actually built them.
Yeah, but then when the town moved here, they were magically there.
So this town was
So's.
Michael screwed up.
What'd he do? He told people?
He told one other person, the really short one with the blue clothes.
Blue?
Get to remember their name. Yeah, and they were the wrong people to tell because they are very eager
Blubbery.
to help the dragons.
Oh. Okay. It's not necessarily the worst thing, because that means we might have somebody that can be, a bridge from their side coming in, because, we're going to be like from the Fae angle coming into it, so maybe that might not be the worst thing.
But Michael wants to kill them now because of them wanting to work with the dragons. Then there's the fact that Volume 3 of the book talks about how the humans sided with the dragons, but it didn't work out for them, so...
In what way?
Well, the town was destroyed, so...
By the dragons?
The dragons destroyed the town, yes.
Oh no. Yeah, that would be a problem. Did it say why? If they were friends with each other, why would they destroy the town?
The Fae. They were not happy with the Fae.
So, the dragons and the peoples became friends, but the peoples were still friends with the Fae, and because of that, the dragons said no more town and destroyed it?
That's what I claimed from reading the books, yes.
Wait, how are they able to do that to the town? I imagine, if anything, the town back then would have been stronger than it is now.
I don't know. There could be more information in later volumes.
Interesting. Mr. Oberon
I've
just
only
told
read,
me...
Volume 2 and 3.
Mr. Oberon just told me he was around during the first time the dragons were here. And he said that they were very strong and that they killed very many Fae. So I guess it's kind of like the war with Burrow, but maybe even worse. But the thing I don't get is, where did they go then? If they were this strong that they could take out the town and they could fight countless Fae, why would they just disappear? You'd think they'd be like roaming around like they owned the place right now.
Well, since the town was destroyed, there was no one to really, espouse why they left.
True. Okay.
Also, keep in mind that there's multiple generations for a reason. So each town had to have been kind of wiped out some way or another. So when we say the town was destroyed, it might have just been the people. The rest of the town might have been fine, or who knows.
Could it be that by destroyed, the town got teleported somewhere? Like last time?
Possible. Because, the town, there weren't really any survivors from what I've read in the book. It kind of trails off. There wasn't a definitive, epilogue about what happened, afterwards, so... It's not like there was anyone else left other than, maybe someone that wrote it before, dying themselves, so...
And Oberon is very scared of the dragons. I don't think this is a tricks of his. He's been very willing to give up information he would have had people work for. Even though he's still been kind of withholdy with me. He wants me to protect him, but then when I ask him about what happened back then, he wants me to not just get the information for free. And I'm like, you want me to protect you, but then you also don't tell me the things I need to know to protect you. It makes it very hard to work with you.
I would say try looking more at the books. Recheck volume 3. Make sure that maybe there's something there that I missed that you would be able to see. And maybe some of the other books. Maybe there's some information in volumes, the other volumes of the... Because we should have all the volumes at this point. Maybe there's something from volume 4 to 9 or something, whatever it goes up to.
Okay. Wow. I feel like there was something else I needed to tell you, but I can't remember what it is right now. Oh! Miss Titania gave me a diary. It's not her diary, but she said she wanted me to read it and figure out who it belonged to. So, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the dragons or not, but I imagine since Oberon's very concerned about it, that it might have something to do with that. But I'll have to get back to you on it. But...
Yes. I think the books in the diary might be our good chance of learning what's going on and what we'll need to do.
Did you have any connections to any of the other courts?
I have no connections to the Fae. Honestly, you know my history. You heard it from the Duckman. Honestly, if I did have any history and they knew about me, it would probably be very bad.
Sure, but I mean, I've seen you talk to Mr. Oberon a few times, and you were the first one that he explained the dragon problem to.
Well, I had to gamble for it.
Sure.
But yes, he did tell me eventually, after I gambled for it. And you are right. I'm pretty sure he knows my history, but he hasn't flat out admitted it, but he's given hints here or there that he knows about what I've done previously.
I bring that up because...
Even way before Duckman.
The problem that's going to be happening soon, where we have these visitors that are going to be showing up.
I feel like I probably should leave because it's
Appreciate that. Thank you. What a respectful young man. Anyway, the problem is that I feel like this is a really big problem. If dragons are coming back, and there's something that even scares Oberon, and I know Oberon is a powerful fae despite him being somewhat silly sometimes, I have to wonder why we haven't heard anything from the Summer Court, the Autumn Court, or the Winter Court, because I feel like they would have a stake in this too.
Well, they might have pulled out. Something Oberon has pointed out is how many fae are around anymore. I mean, you've been here as long as I have. Pine isn't here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Shiva's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the
Jenico.
fae, especially after our town met Jenico, there were a lot more fae. The only ones that are left anymore is the Foxlings and Oberon. So
Yeah.
there's not. So they might know something. Maybe they knew after the town moved. That's maybe why they've stayed away. Might be why we don't get any fae anymore.
But then why would Oberon be here? If they knew about something way back then, why would he have been around if he also knows about it? And why only now be worried?
Maybe because he thought enough time has elapsed that dragons wouldn't come back. Maybe he thinks, while he's concerned, he has hope that maybe we might be able to do something. Maybe that Ottertown can be the generation that can do something. But that would be preface on if the dragons ever came back in the previous volumes.
Right. Okay.
I tried to stop figuring him out. He intentionally tries to obscure his true intentions through different means that are very difficult. Speaking from someone that's experienced with trying to obscure so people don't pick up on what you're trying to go for. He is very crafty at it.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat. I've been hanging around him a lot. I think I've got a nice beat on him. I still think he's a little bit weird for not helping me help him, but I know that's kind of like his shtick, his thing, so... Okay, in that case then, I was really hoping if we can find a way, I know you just said that it's not really your expertise, but I really want to get a hold of Jenico, not only because of this whole dragon thing, but also because she's allegedly kidnapped Mr. Bryant. And by allegedly, I mean I'm pretty sure, like 100% sure she did. And I need to find out why she did that, and if maybe we can get Mr. Bryant back. That seems important.
Yes.
And then I have a connection to Miss Lyriel, who is the Autumn Court representative. I've been trying to get a hold of her, but she's been very difficult to get a hold of. And then I have no idea how to get a hold of Miss Shiva. There's like no Winter Court phase I've ever seen other than her.
Of course. Like I said, that's the... There's the less and less fae, so...
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah,
and that...
I would try asking them to see if they have anything about any of the other courts.
Mm-hmm. Yes? Hello?
No. Actually, do any of you have a bucket?
There's a bucket I use for watering the plants up at the farm if you want to borrow it. Just make sure you don't break it.
Well, I won't do that because it's for the farm. Some of us is going inside the water.
Oh. Do you want to ask Miss Jojo to go with you because she's a good swimmer?
Actually, I haven't seen Jojo when I came over here.
She was at the bed and breakfast last I saw, but she might already be out in the ocean. She likes to go get to fishes and stuff like that.
Yeah, we already have the set group. I think some of us are going over there to see about the shipwreck and stuff like that, so...
It was just a suggestion. I know she's done lots of stuff out in the water.
Of course. Yeah, but thank you though.
I'm going to go research some things through my connections, so I'll go do that. I probably won't be able to tell you anything from it, but if there's something I can hint at, I'll let you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Take care, Grandpa.
Yeah, you too.
You're not dead!
What?
You're not
I'm
dead?
I told everybody you were dead.
Why?
I thought you were dead.
I just went on vacation.
I can have dreams.
Where did you go on
Me and
vacation?
Scribble went on vacation.
Scribble and I?
Bath.
A bath?
It's Scribble and I.
Went on vacation.
Bath sounds nice.
Skimble and I went on vacation. What's the difference?
Well, so it's a grammatical thing. So if you say me and Scrimble went on vacation, if you were to remove Scrimble, the sentence would be me went on vacation. That doesn't sound very good. But if you use Scrimble and I went on vacation, and if you were to remove Scrimble from the equation, it would be I went on vacation.
Yeah, but Skimble is part of the equation.
Right. So you always speak as if to account for the lack of additional person.
Yeah, but I'm important, so I go first.
Oh, I guess if you want to put it that way.
I and Scrimble? Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
It's fine. You can say
Well, wait.
whatever you wish.
Well, think of it this way. Whenever you're like doing like a whole bunch of things, there's a saying that people say like save the best for last. So, you know, maybe in that case you're just saving the best for last by saying Scrimble and I.
Skimble and I went on vacation.
Yeah. And what did you do?
Yeah. Mostly yelled at.
Did you have any nice food?
No.
Aren't you supposed to be getting the wets and the crunchies for like a week since we went?
Yeah, but that's back at the Doge house.
If they go on vacation, I'm not gonna I can't feed them. I don't know where they go.
You wouldn't like give them like a little packet of the wets and the crunchies together? Or separate and then they can mix them?
For like, what, two days?
If you mix them for too long, they get soggy.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
They turn into a puck.
Mm.
It's a soggy puck. Yeah, no. You gotta get it when it's fresh.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we just checked back in with the, autumn court, stuff. Very serious Fae business.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What did you check in with? About?
Well, I mean, there's Fae business.
Oh yeah, of course. Like things revolving around.
Fae business.
Oh yeah, as it pertains to...
What?
How do I legally evade this question?
Oh, about of what you were doing?
Yeah.
You could say I signed an NDA.
I signed. I don't think I did.
Well, if you're going to just tell the truth, I forgot you have to tell the truth.
I'm affiliated with the Autumn Court. I am an official member of the Autumn Court, If I'm going to have Mr. Oberon calling me partial Fae because I'm part of the Autumn Court, then I am legally also bound to it, so you can tell me any Autumn Court business.
Are you part of the Autumn Court?
What?
Yeah.
I don't think she's part of the Autumn Court.
You're not
Yeah.
Fae.
Oh, he keeps on calling me partial Fae. Because I made a deal with
She's
Lyriel.
like half.
Oh. Alright. She's off doing who knows what.
You say that as in you don't know, or is that an ambiguation of what she's doing?
I mean, she's probably doing what's their names, but you know.
Because I've been really trying to get in contact with her, and she's been very hard to reach.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, with her gone, it's been very relaxing.
How so? What was she like when she was here?
Bossy.
Bossy? What did she tell you to do?
Stuff.
Oh yeah, stuff. But now you're not doing stuff?
No. Well. Am I doing stuff?
I don't know. Are you doing
Does this
stuff?
count as stuff?
I think this is the stuff. Right now we're doing stuff.
I'm doing stuff, just not.
Different stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing different stuff.
Yeah, staying busy, you know.
Yeah, staying busy, you know.
And the Autumn Court still asks you to come back and tell them what kind of stuff you're doing?
Well,
I'm sorry,
sorta, kinda, what?
So you've been telling the Autumn Court what things go on during business hours, then?
What? No. It's just like, how are you doing? How is things? How is the town? What about dragons?
Oh, what about dragons?
Did you find the sundial?
Well, that's the town,
Did anybody
right?
die?
Lots of people did die, yeah.
Kinda.
You mean
standard stuff?
the sundial? You were just looking for that? The sundial?
No.
So the town. They know you're at the town, so you found the sundial, right?
No. The thingy that powers the town.
Oh. Okay. Specifically that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you tell them about the dragons?
I told them somebody said something about dragons.
But they asked you
And
first?
they got real worried, and then they looked at me and they said, well, you say the damnedest things. And I went, huh.
Is that how they talk?
No. But that is the closest, relatable human word.
Okay. That's fine. Understandable. Mm-hmm.
What they actually said was, the field in which you grow thy truths are motley and sickly. However, the harvest is acceptable this time.
Well, that is a very colorful way of putting it.
Yeah.
You know what, Fox? I believe you are an acceptable harvest.
Is that a comment? Is that cringe?
Well, it's a
They
compliment.
said I was
so
an
in a way,
acceptable
yes.
cop. Oh. That's kind of cringe.
The fields of our relationship may still be before harvest, but I can tell that it is growing into quite a bountiful supply.
How dare you? That's our words.
I'm part of the Autumn Court. I can do that. I can say those words.
Oh yeah.
Told you.
Dang.
Look, I
You should
didn't
join a
get
different court.
I didn't get all of these thingies all over me, not to flex my autumnness sometimes.
Yeah, but like what court?
I don't know. Well, not spring, because Oberon's an asshole. I mean, summer's not bad. Winter's pretty good.
Winter just always wants to break
You saying
everything.
mine's the worst?
What? What's the worst?
Are you saying mine's the worst?
No.
I'm saying yours is the most basic.
Basic?
What?
I'm saying if the courts had a season that was the embodiment of generic, it would be autumn.
Autumn is the time of pumpkin spice.
What? No.
Autumn is
This can't
when
be true.
autumn is when the Uggs come out.
What are the Uggs? Is that like a fey creature?
That has to do with the mole people.
They're creatures, yeah.
Oh.
What's wrong with dogs?
They're gross.
Yeah, and so we call them Uggs.
Well, yeah, but you know, I'd rather they stay underground. I don't want them to come out. That's why winter, autumn sucks.
Wait, drawing upon your
Oh, so you
fashion
want the
knowledge,
ground to be full of
isn't
Uggs.
isn't the summer when the Crocs come out? Aren't they way more cringe?
No, the Crocs are nice.
Hmm.
I'm all about utility. Honestly, if I had a preference in regards to fashion, it is definitely winter fashion. The more layers means the more clothing you can wear.
True. Yeah, you can definitely have layers of
Is that
statements.
a blue? They got a blue lizard. They come in blue. I didn't know they come blue.
Yeah. What the heck is that
What?
thing?
Oh.
Yeah, what is that thing?
Ah.
Ah. Weird.
Well, they didn't come over here and talk to us. Maybe they didn't
probably
see
don't
us.
like me.
Maybe their vision is based off of
Very good.
movement. Are you talking about the small blue
No,
lizard?
probably not.
About my size?
Clever girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Zek. He's a kobold. He just showed up today. He was very nervous.
Oh, gross.
What?
Another
Why
one.
do y'all just like keep popping up?
Look, the sundial must need lots of kobolds for a reason.
Yeah.
Or maybe
What
like
did you tell yourself?
the teleporty laser portal thing maybe just keeps on hitting kobolds for some reason. Not sure.
I just figured you guys split down the middle. Cause you're purple, one of them's red, that's blue. You put blue and red, you get purple. Or
Well, I was green first, and then magic keeps on making me be different colors.
I'm only
Oh!
one color.
You got an eyeball for me?
Yeah.
You want to help invest in the value of this eyeball that we've been working on? I think my mental state is ready to do a little more.
Yeah, I could.
Do you want to go to Cube Rock?
Where else would we go?
I don't know.
Gotta be Cube Rock.
Yeah, it's gotta be Cube Rock. I'm gonna take your business associate that you thought was dead, but is not dead, and we'll go to Cube Rock.
Cube Rock's
No worries, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun, enjoy the cube rock.
Hold on, let me get your hat.
In the drawer.
Oh, thank you.
Why is it in the drawer?
I thought you were dead. I was gonna sell it.
Alright, here we go.
Wow. Okay.
Alright.
For perfectly normal walking.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll be back. Don't leave without me.
Have fun. I won't. I'll sit here, keep on reading my book.
Oh.
What's read?
It's this book called The Sleeping Rancor. It's a foreign novel.
What's a rancor?
I don't know. I'm still figuring that out.
Alright, let me know, because it might be relevant to something.
Is a discontent and anger.
Oh. The sleeping
General
discontent?
displeasant and violent. More or less.
Interesting.
Lot of nerd eyes.
So are you worried about the dragons?
Kinda.
Kinda? They seem to be like something a lot of Fae are really scared of. Yep. We got Jasper, and that's Zach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got like 5 kobolds now. We got Mr. Pips, we got me, we got Zichi, we got Jasper, and now we got Zach. This minis.
Dang. Wait.
No, you have an extra finger. There you go. This one. Let's see. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What?
Uh-huh. I've got 8 fingers. You've got 10.
You also have feet.
Yeah, see? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I learned how to count to 10 by using my arms as 9 and 10.
Yeah. It was a very specific thing that the Emerald Dragon made us do, is learn to count by 10sies instead of 8s.
Weirdos.
Yep, that's for sure.
But
I'll
now
take that.
Now I can count way beyond 10 now. I can count to like 1,000,000. Zuchi was trying to tell me about some really, really big numbers, like I forget, one of them was like a gajillion or something.
Yeah, that sounds true. They like ran out of names for big numbers, and they
really,
just
really
started
big.
they just started taking Ilian and then just throwing things in front of it. You could probably come up with any sound and put it in front of Ilian, and I'd be like, yeah, that's probably a number.
I bet.
I can now and count.
Not exactly. No. No, that
Can you-
wasn't really a thing that we did.
Did you count the 10s? Can you do 10sies?
You maybe, I don't know. Like you said, this was 8 fingers.
Yeah. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8s.
So would it be if I
higher than the
had 2
blue line.
more? It would be 10.
No. Keep expectations low. Don't aim for the stars. Look at the ground. That way I can count more than you. Give up on your dreams.
No. What you need to do is
so
promise.
optimal.
You could promise him
Settle.
vast knowledges of counting in exchange for his eyeballs or something, right?
I just kind of figured every time somebody comes into town, somebody's like, "Ooh, don't change eyeballs."
Well, yeah, but that way everyone knows your shtick. She changes eyeballs for things.
Hi, I'm Fox, and I'm part of Fox and Scramble legal team. That's FFS legal team. Are you tired of having 2 eyeballs in your skull? Are you tired of not having a cool eye patch like a pirate or some other made-up thing that you guys talk about, like ninjas or taxes? Well, do I have a deal for you? Do you want 1 eye, no eye? We can handle it all. Do you want to just swap your eye out? We have Blurple. Blurple will cost you extra, though. Come on down to Fox and Fox's stall, where you can see the savings.
I think I would rather keep my eyeballs.
Yeah, that's what they all say at first.
What the heck? And then you get the algae knowledge.
Yeah, but this is the part of our advertising. Like you put it out there, like whenever somebody needs like lots of corn, you're like, I'm the corn salesman. But the first time they see it, they might not be like, I need corn. You know, not everybody needs corn all the time. But then one day they'll need corn, and they'll remember that you had corn. The same thing will happen. One day he might be like, oh, I really need the ancient knowledge of Zuzuban, the desert dweller. And you'll be like, I got an eyeball for that.
Who is that?
I don't know, I just made it up.
Eyeball for that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have an eyeball for that.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just saying, you know, at first I was like, oh, how incredibly nauseating the idea of losing my eyeballs for something. But as it turns out, pretty useful. It's pretty good business. She runs a pretty good business.
Did you get them, them back?
Look, let's just say that her inventory of Blurple may be supplied by a single kobold.
Oh.
I mean, I got 3 Blurple.
Wait, you're telling me someone else had Blurples?
Yeah, 1 person. That was the one that got really mad in town because they said I'd help them out for their eye. And then they went over to the Fae and they said, hey, what are you doing here? And then they told him what he was doing here, but then they felt like they'd paid too much. But that wasn't the deal, so I kept the eye.
Yeah, by the way, be very careful about your deals, okay? Just make sure, contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
They may be a
I
legal
had
team,
a
but
thing with that.
yeah. Just be very careful.
I would not, I can't lie.
They can't lie. It's true. That's a true thing. But that doesn't mean they
Yeah, I
can't
have
be
been told
weaselly.
to be cautious.
She's a fox, but she can be very weaselly.
What's a weasel?
It's like a little, like snake kind of
They're
furry
very
creature
thin.
that lives in the ground. A furry snake creature with little legs on it, but they're sneakies. They're very sneakies.
I've got little legs.
Yeah, but you're more Fox. Your name is Fox. Little Fox. Little. That's Miss Fox. This is Little Fox.
No relation.
She's a shadeling. She's a
I'm not a
fae.
shadeling. Yeah, I'm not a.
Yeah.
I'm not a weasel fox snake thing. Yeah, not that. No.
Yeah, It's not dangerous to be near them, it's just...
Well,
careful how
in
you say
town.
things.
Out of town,
you're pretty
definitely don't get
high.
near them. Yeah. If you're outside of the town, they
I
will
would
just come
like
up and
to
rip
keep
your
my
eyes out. Yeah.
Like, you're kind of real easy to...
Yeah. So it's a problem
I'm
with the
not
kobolds.
doing it, I'm just saying.
You're in town, you're fine. You're
Yeah,
okay.
you're
Her hands will just go through your head.
just gonna reach up like that.
Don't touch me, please.
I won't touch.
It's fine. If she ever causes a problem, just do this. Rub her head. Like this. This is the off switch. There we go. Alright, I'm done.
Okay.
Demonstration's over.
How dare you?
I'm just showing them. We're getting familiar so that you can potentially get a client in the future. I'm helping. You want people to feel open and nice to talk to you, and if they know that you have vulnerabilities and they have vulnerabilities with the sockets in their head, then you share a little bit of thing, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but everybody hates talking to me.
Well, we're working on that. Look how long this conversation has gone on now. That's more than normals, right?
It's way more than I've normally had, yeah.
See?
You know what? This is the longest conversation I've had.
You're welcome.
What? What are we
You know
supposed to do with that?
You were gonna shake it, but don't worry about it. Don't. It's okay. Let's just call this like a little bit of pro bono contract work for Fox and Scrimble Legal, trying to help you with customer association, customer service.
Customer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. This Fox usually just calls them suckers.
Yeah, again, see, this is why we try to, try not to use language that makes people off-put to do business with you.
I thought people liked suckers.
Do you like suckers? Yeah, see, they don't like that.
Is it an actual thing?
But, this is all it's all a learning thing. I'm sure they won't hold it against you, right?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
You're not going to hold it against her that she was like, Miss Fox calls you suckers, because we don't even know what that is, so it's all good. See? No problem.
Oh, no, she calls everybody suckers that goes and buys things because they don't understand money.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That would be true.
Mm-hmm. But now, see, Zach, if you needed to ever get something amazing at the cost of an eyeball, where would you go to?
I mean, I guess the only option would be then if
Boom.
if I
See?
want it.
There you go. Like I said.
Yeah, that's right.
Though at the current moment, I'm not really looking for that. I want to get familiar with the place.
Nobody is.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have the first day. But look at me now. Look at me now.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Right? Exactly. It's an investment
It's
thing.
a very specific thing that you're the only one that does it, so...
Oh, no, we could all do it. I'm just the one that has a business.
Mm-hmm. She's the only one that will do it.
I definitely wouldn't let them take your eyes.
The other ones won't do it in exchange for anything. She does it as a business. The other ones will just see you in the woods and be like, oh, that's a wonderful eyeball. Mine. And then just take it and run away. So,
And then they'll go like this.
I guess that's another reason not to go out there. Currently.
Yeah,
and then they'll eat it.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of the shadelings. They're
There's a giant
mostly
worm, and there's spitters, and there's plants, and
Yeah,
there's
the plant people.
and there's yeah.
There's like a
They wouldn't
golem
be very good for
thing.
me. I have
That's why I stay here.
It's good. Yeah. I have no
Henrietta.
combat abilities, or what I know of, I don't have any magic abilities either at the current moment.
When I showed up, I didn't have magic abilities, but then I got some, and I could do mushroom magic now. That's with the mushrooms.
Yeah.
I trained to do that.
Magic.
You're a fae. You already do magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do magic. Like this. Watch
I
this.
just wanted to get stuff too.
You ready for this?
Huh?
Spore burst.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Uh-huh. Spores.
And everything.
Yep. It should have that nice musky, fungusy taste to it. kind of savory with a little bit of earthiness to it.
No.
No?
Makes me sneeze.
Well, it's very good for getting away from things. You just go, oh, look, a monster! Okay, sneeze a bit, and then run. And then you go.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I can see that.
How come you don't have, like, telekinesis or, like, shoot lightning and fire?
What's telling Eotidiss?
Nah.
I don't shoot lightning. No.
It's where you have people push things for you, I think.
Oh.
Wait, can't you just do that without magic?
I can turn into rock.
Oh. Wait, really?
Yeah, it was like part of the earth magic stuff that I learned with like Mr. Julian and Miss Adagio. I can't talk when I'm doing it though, so I don't like it too much. Here. Hold on.
Oh.
Whoa.
This is the quietest I've ever heard her. This is the least cringe she will ever be. Don't say anything if you agree with me.
I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't appreciate whatever that is.
Well, we now mutually know we don't like each other doing that. We learned a lot today. We've come so far. Anyway, I have to go take care of business-related things. I hope you're feeling a little bit more acclimated to the town. If you're still feeling peckish, you could always go to the tavern and get something to eat, or the bakery. Or if Miss Jojo's at the bed and breakfast, she would be more than happy to make something for you. Otherwise, try to...
Just in the Jojo.
Perfect.
You were there a little bit earlier.
Good.
Ah.
Alright. I'll see you around, Zek. Take care of him, Jesper.
You could always go talk to Miss Fox. They love new customers.
Yeah, she's also a tailor.
Bye. Try not to die. Don't lose your eyeballs.
I'll make sure that I don't. I'll try to.
Alright, cool, because I'll find them. Bye.
Yep. That was productive.
I don't know. I've never talked to somebody that long. It was exhausting.
It can be, but like everything else, if you just keep practicing it, then you'll get better at it.
Yeah, maybe.
And then that way you get more business, which means more eyeballs. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
who have you talked to more than anyone else in this town other than maybe Miss Fox?
You?
And who... You know what, that's fair. Okay, who outside of Fox and Scrimble have you talked to the most here?
Oh, you.
And who has done the most eyeball deals with you?
You?
See? Direct correlation. If you keep talking to people, you'll get more business.
Oh. I
Yeah.
just thought you were dumb.
Nope.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Aw. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I guess.
I mean, if you thinks about it, like, you wouldn't know to do business with someone unless you knows what business they do.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true.
And right now, nobody knows your business unless they talks to you, because you don't have, like, a sign up that says that you're, like, Fox and Scramble legal, and that doesn't exactly tell people that you do eyeballs things. You know. Like, Mr. Gracious has a stall, and you can see all the spices in the window, so you could go up to him without even talking to him and be like, you are a spice man, and that would be right. But if somebody comes up to you, nothing about you screams, hey, I am the eyeball person, or I am doing legal things, you know? So they have to talk to you first.
Dang, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. You're learning, and that's really good of you.
Is this cringe?
I wouldn't say learning is cringe. Plus, just because people do business with you a lot doesn't mean they're like friends or something. They're business associates, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all business. It's all business, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
All
nothing
business,
cringe.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Plus, if they were friends, then they would probably ask for, like, friends and family benefits and stuff, and that's the last thing you want as a business, is everyone thinking they're friends. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
No.
Mm-hmm, you know.
Can't have that, no.
Yeah, that's bad for business.
It's bad for business.
Mm-hmm. Did Scrimble have a good time on vacation, too?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Did you just talk to the Autumn
Probably
Court,
not,
or did you do other things?
Mostly got yelled at. Scrimble didn't.
That doesn't sound like very vacation-y to get yelled at.
I thought vacation is if you go someplace else other than where you normally go.
I always thought it was like something to do to like relax, but maybe that's fair to say it's just going somewhere else. It's where you like don't do work, and like you ever like have a day where you did a lot of stuff and then you were like super tired or maybe even hurt a lot because of it?
I'm a corporeal, so no. But when I was corporeal, yes, all the time.
But you were
Existence
corporeal?
was exhausting. When I became, and then they poisoned me. I got
Oh! Yeah, that's right, when you were the tart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it wasn't food.
Okay, but still, you understand then that, like, you know, you get very run down. Yeah, like that. So what you do to not feel like that anymore is do nothing for a while.
It's because there's 3 different types of pee. That's why you guys are always tired.
Sure. Sounds like you get it.
There's the pee that comes out of your mouth, and you go bleh, and then there's the normal pee, and then there's the solid. You guys are doing it all the time. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's basically true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just give up on life, honestly, right, guys? I
But
don't understand how you live with the horrors.
We persevere. We push through. That's what makes us mortal beings.
Honestly, it explains a lot of what happens with you guys and like what's wrong with you guys.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just want to point out, you had 1 day living as us, and that gave you a whole different outlook on what kind of beings we are. Because you got to live it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of You understand the pain.
Pizza was okay.
Pizza was really okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I don't know about the mushrooms.
Well, I won't take offense to that. I know mushrooms isn't everybody's things, just because it's my things.
And I ended up hitting a wall. It was the softest wall. It might have been somebody's leg.
Mm-hmm.
But it was soft.
Well, that sounds kind of pleasant.
The next day wasn't.
One second, I need to consider my thoughts momentarily. Hey, welcome on in, Frieza Stepping TTV. If you go to VR chat and you look up
out at the sea.
If you look at the Waypoint group in if I knew how this worked. Oh, I need to not be looking directly. There you go. This is the official Waypoint RP group. If you want to join in, it is public. It is a drop-in, drop-out roleplay. There are rules. You'll want to join the Discord, but you can do it there. Alright, sorry about that. I have my thoughts all collected now. Do you have an eyeball in mind for the making my eyeball more valuable?
Well, yeah, I went to the place that I went for vacation had one.
Oh, so a fresh one?
It was educational viewing.
Okay.
I don't really understand it though.
Okay, understood. But I'm sure if you're showing it to me, it must be something valuable, right?
Yeah?
Okay.
I mean, I'm supposed to figure it out what's in it and then, talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
That aren't here.
Well, I can't...
About it.
I can't really talk to people as per the contract thing, you know.
Yes, right.
So I'll have to figure it out on my own.
Okay. Yeah, but you can tell me. Yeah.
Can I?
I mean, I think so. I don't know what the stuff I'm seeing is.
Look, if you're not going to have me
kinda
killed for telling you about it, I'll tell you about it. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to die.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
No. Okay, you ready then?
I'm ready.
Excellent. Whoop! I'm slightly sick today, so I do apologize. I'm gonna take a sip of my water, and then I will begin.
Did you poop your pants?
What? No!
I was trying to make you spit out your water.
I almost did! No, I just have a sore throat and a runny nose. How dare you?
And a poopy pants.
How dare you? Whatever, I'm gonna go over to your house and poop in your pants.
I knew it. I knew you were the one doing that. I knew that was you. Alright guys, we can end Waypoint. We finally caught her. She admitted it. Turn off the cameras. We finally caught her. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Damn! I was caught in 4K, or whatever resolution you're streaming at.
Mia saw that. She said, funny poo.
Hi, Scumbo. I hope you feel better. I don't know where your thing is.
It's right here.
Okay. Trying to do Fox's voice today just hurts. I feel like I lost all the grumbly, like...
It's fine. When you're near...
possum thing to it.
You can...
And now it's just like... It sounds too normal. You're just staring into my soul now.
While you're narrating this, you could just do normal Effie voice.
Yeah, I am. Stay in minimal safety. You know what? An eyeball's your eyeball.
Oh! Oh! Dry socket, quickly! Yep. Blinky.
Alright, as soon as that eye is screwed in, you are in a town. And it's not the current town, and it's not the past town. Whatever town this is, well, it's got castle walls all around in a circle. They're pretty high. And there's people that are walking along them, banning them. A few of them you even recognize. But you're currently on your way to go do business. It's just been the morning, you've just woken up, and you're walking along. You think for a moment that you have to be a human based on how tall you are, but it's not really sure. The memory is slightly foggy. And as you're walking around, you start heading towards what can only be considered a hill, but why it's like in town, you know, doesn't seem to make any sense to you as Nirta, but as the memory goes, makes perfect sense, because where else are you going to store a bunch of dragon eggs other than basically buried under a bunch of straw that's on basically a heated stone pad? Like, where would you do that? You wouldn't. That would be weird. So you're going to turn the eggs because, you know, that's what you were told to do, and that's what you're gonna do. So you go, you get basically a stick that has a scoop on it, and you reach in and you start turning these eggs very carefully. They're about the size of, well, one of Wayne's watermelons.
Okay.
Maybe not the biggest one he's ever seen, but they're fairly large. It's a little strenuous. It's basically like turning a pig-sized egg, rolling it. And you're very careful because you know that, well, the bigger ones that have already hatched, well, they get very angry if you don't treat the eggs correctly. But they seem to be pretty happy running around town, causing mischief, doing things. So all seems to be well in the world. And you have basically a condensed knowledge of a few years' time, because that seems to be your life. Whoever you are seems to be the person that takes care of the eggs. And the eggs hatch and little baby dragons come out. And generally speaking, they frolic and, you know, are just basically like you probably would expect. The thing that differs is that the older ones seem to age very quickly compared to the ones that were born here. And the ones that age very quickly soon get so big that they can't stay in the castle. The good news is that they are more than happy to fly around and go places, but one of them, the first one, seems to get, well, sick. And it's the oldest one that you ever hatched. And there does come the day when its head is just poking through the gate and you know it's dying. And you feel immense sadness as you sit next to it and stroke, you know, what of its face you can. It's just such a huge beast at this point. And when it dies, I mean, you weep, because, I mean, you knew this thing for about 5 years. It talked to you. It was almost like it was almost kind of like a person. But it was also sort of like, you know, something you took care of. You couldn't really bear to watch as, you know, the body got moved, and, well, dragons do as dragons do, and they eat their dead. And the ones that were bigger, well, they found out by basically eating the body, it kind of stalled whatever was happening to them, though it did seem to keep going. So you decided that you were going to go to the mage tower and you were going to figure out what was going on. And the tower itself didn't look like anything that you, Nirta, know, and from the basically the past that you've looked at, it looks very rudimentary. The first age memories that you had from when they were first here, everything was elegant and smooth, and you know, there was definitely magic used in the implementation of like tools and things to make these like fine, chiseled and smooth, straight objects. Everything in town has sort of like a roughness to it, just a little bit more of a primitive technology. As a kobold, you can appreciate it. It looks familiar. You can understand the ideas behind it more so than the smooth granite and the perfectly chiseled like doorways and tunneling that the first age town had. So you're climbing up this basically rudimentary tower with their stairs, and you go and talk to the mage there, which happens to be this very, very old man who can't seem to walk. And as you sit and talk to him, he doesn't know, but he does know that the library has a bunch of old books, so he gives you his key, and you wander down to go to the library. And as you go to the library and you check out these dusty books, you sit and read. And for a very long time, nothing really happens, but you come across a book that's very old, and the ink is a little smeared, and the pages are very yellow. But you can kind of read out that the dragons that, you know, first came over basically were supercharged, essentially. They were given a means to grow fast and to populate, but after that, they probably wouldn't last very long. And that seemed to be by design, which is beyond you in this memory, because you're not quite sure why they would design such a thing. But you do know that the new dragons seem to be different than the older dragons. The older ones seem to be rotundish and, well, single color, very, you know, sturdy, strong, more like labor beasts. And the ones that came out seem to fit the land more. They vary based on like the elements that they chose, and they've reacted to essentially the fey magic around. But the old ones, they seem to be of a different stock, from a different place entirely. And as they age, it just seems like nothing sustains them here. And so find out that all the old ones are probably going to die. But the new ones, they seem to be sticking around, because the new ones, at least since they're born here, seem to naturalize the mana that's coming out of basically just the ground or any place that has magic. And in fact, they seem to be able to feed off glamour a little bit. You only know this because it's notated that that was the intention in the book, that they would, you know, essentially feed off the natural energies that were in this world, because the ecosystem likely wasn't going to sustain it other than basically the natural resource that was in. With this knowledge, you basically come to the terms that the old dragons, the ones that you raised first, are probably going to die within the next few years. The ones that were born are thriving, and they're aging much slower, and they're just ravenous. At first, you're feeding them, you know, regular food, but after a while, some of them just decide that they're going to fly off, and they seem to favor certain areas. Certain dragons are, you know, basically favoring people who are, you know, having good cheer at the tavern. Some of them prefer to sit above the forge, and, well, everybody sort of thought, well, maybe it's warm, maybe they just like people. It's now come to your understanding that maybe they're getting something from it. You're not quite sure because, well, you're not a mage yourself. So you take notes and you watch, and you realize that what's going on is that whatever dragon is feeding off of the mana source, they are essentially drawn to it. And when they take from it, you know, the bigger that they get, the more that they take from it, it does sort of cause a little bit of discord. You realize that the one that's getting bigger that used to hang out by this forge, well, the forge just never gets as hot. And the dragon itself gives back, and it blows fire into basically the coals to ignite them. But that has to happen like twice a day now, and before, I mean, that thing was roaring all the time. The person running it just feels like maybe they're getting older, and maybe they're just not as good at their job. But you suspect something else is going on. And the tavern itself, well, it just doesn't seem as cheery as it normally does. It used to be such a place where people would laugh and cheer and play games and do stuff, but now it's a little moody. After a while, you decide, well, you know, you want to do a test. So you take these dragons out of the element and you take them outside and you take them on an adventure. And for a while, you know, they seem excited, but then they start getting hungry. And, you know, when you are roughly like the size of a modern day bus and you're trying to feed yourself, it takes a lot of woodland creatures and a variety of other things to do so. So at first they spend a lot of time hunting. Flying and stuff takes a lot of calories, but eventually they find certain areas that are in the basically the surrounding wilderness that they like. And you notice that the one that was hanging around the tavern seems to want to nest right above, essentially, where you know a bunch of the little moles live. And so whatever is going on underneath is probably pretty joyous and pretty happy, based on what you can tell. And as you put your ear to the ground, I mean, the moles usually are happy creatures. They're happy to be digging and they're happy to find things. So that seems to be the only source of that in a large quantity. And the one that likes to forage, well, that found an open vent in the ground, a thermal vent, and it just climbs right in. And before you know it, that thermal vent gets to a point where you can actually stand to be in it as long as that dragon's there. It's just not as warm. So you note this down and you write this in your journal. And as you're turning back to town to walk back to town, you hear a noise. And you turn and you look, and there's just a hand reaching out of basically a tree at you. And then all of a sudden, there's no tree. There's no man, there's no hand, there's nothing. Because there is a jet of amber-colored fire that just whizzes past your face. There's not even a scream as whatever tried to reach you just disintegrates. But the tree that was by you was definitely not a tree. It was something, because it writhed and writhed and then simply turned to ash and fell apart. So, notating that, and also in your report, you go back to town. The dragons decide that they're going to stay out in the wilderness for a bit, and since, well, they're a much bigger creature than you, and technically whatever you do is more of a suggestion than an order, you go back to town and you climb that same tower, only to find that the old man isn't there. And you're trying to go look for him, but passed. So there's a new young man, and he's standing on top of the tower, and you realize this guy sort of looks like Lawrence. It's not Lawrence. It kind of looks like Lawrence. And he's got a book, a big red book, with a pen that's tied to it that dangles, and he looks very nervous. In fact, he kind of looks like it's his first day. And your memory is essentially telling this guy that, well, the old dragons are dying, so they're essentially just going to get old and die. And we don't know what these new dragons are going to live for, but they do seem to be feeding off the area and the energies of the world, so we don't necessarily have to feed them, which is a good idea. So you and this other person in the memory basically hit it off. You start doing research, and you live a small lifetime essentially being this person's friend. Maybe even more. The memory is blurry, but you do know that probably in a few years' time, maybe even 10 years or so, you're getting older. The trek up the tower is a little bit more strenuous. The old dragons are dead. The new dragons didn't even eat them like the old ones did. The old ones kind of just kept eating until the last one was there. And then the last one died. Where he died, basically, the fields grew fertile and the crops grew ever bigger. It just seemed like you could put a normal-sized anything in there and it would just give you just a huge version of it. So, the town's farm, despite being very small, was very plentiful, and it delivered corn cobs basically the size of a log, you know, with fairly good ease. You don't know how long that would last, but generally speaking, it just seems like whatever magic that was there got put in the ground where the body decayed. And the new dragons, well, you would think that they would stick around, but as they hatch, they just seemed to leave after they couldn't, you know, feed from the town anymore without causing problems. So it's a constant cycle of having these dragons go off into the wilderness, and some of them come back, some of them don't. Some of them come back with scars. Some of them don't come back at all with, limbs or, whatever else. And they come to heal and rest and be tended to. But it's fairly certain to you that something's going on. And as you're reaching your twilight years, and you're sitting on top of this tower in a chair with your friend, drinking, you look up over the wall because, well, something's darkened your door, literally, as this black cloud sort of just goes over the top. And at the moment, you just don't think anything of it because you're just like, oh, well, looks like rain. But then something happens. Hail, the size of cannonballs, begin to fall out of the sky.
Yeah, that's not
and the
normal.
people start screaming. And as you grab your friend and you both make a elderly dash down the stairs, you hear a whistling noise, and suddenly the memory just goes white. And then it ends.
Alright, so to recap, to make sure I understood everything. It starts out with someone in their younger years tending to eggs. They're being heated up on a hot stone, and they have the job of taking care of them, making sure that they're getting evenly heated. When they hatch, they then take care of them, make sure they're well fed and stuff. During this time, there is the first generation of dragons, or at least earlier generations of dragons, that were still living in this castle town area. And as they're dying off, these ones are eating each other in order to prolong their lifespans, but as less and less of them are alive, that's not sustainable. You start noticing these newer generations of dragons are adapting to the world, and they seem to be absorbing glamour instead of whatever else the original dragons would sustain themselves with, and that can take the form of natural energies like fire and whatnot, or it could be like emotional. And it starts taking a toll on the town, so you take the initiative to go out into the wilds and try to get them acclimated to other sources out there. And over the years, you notice like these changes, and they become more prolific in the dragons to the point where they are well adapted to the wilds, and they spend more time out there than they do back in this castle town. And then near the end, presumably the only reason they would come back is to lay eggs there, or have they stopped doing this at that point, or?
I mean, they generally, the big ones sometimes don't come back at all. So you're not sure where they come, but the younger ones do seem to come back and bring eggs. Although, as more and more seem to never come back, I mean, there would be less and less eggs.
Okay. So they start having no association with the town. Some of them. Some of them still come back, but a lot of them are just out there on their own now. And then big storm shows up, and something happens in the hailstorm, and they die. Or it goes blank. Okay. Okay. It's I think it's done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
What? Don't say uh-oh when dealing with my eyeballs.
Did I? Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, blink.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Not upside down.
Just give it a little lick. Yeah, there. It's fine. No, you got it. You got it right. You're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Good.
So that one was lots of dragon stuff. It's very important right now. Thank you for that. Very, very much appreciates that. That's very relevant to my interests. You don't do you know of like a place where dragons were being hatched out into the Feywilds somewhere?
Well, I mean, not me personally, but I know where that would be.
Is it near here? Like, relatively speaking?
No. I mean, it's also ruins.
Ruins?
Yeah. The whole town got...
Oh, yeah. I mean, the memory made it kind of unclear, but I could see how that'd be the outcome of that.
Yeah, the hunt guy, the hunt master guy, he gave me an eyeball and told me to go investigate, you know, because they didn't want that happening again. I guess. I'm
Wait.
really good at explaining things.
The hunt guy? Of the Autumn Court?
Well, I mean...
The hunt master?
Well... Not him. It's like a small... Well,
They work for
It's like a smaller... Yeah, I mean, you know, Mario hasn't been here, so then they were like, hey, it's been like, I don't know, 2 seconds Fae time. What did you learn? They didn't really care about, you know, everything else. They just wanted to know how the town was, if there's fog, how many people, are they all dead?
Wait, fog? What does fog have to do with
And they
anything?
There's the fog stuff that, you know, was killing people and making them into undead monsters.
Oh, the corruption? That thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of know about that. That's a little bit before I was here, but I've heard things.
Yeah.
Okay. So they want you to find out about this place. I could tell you. I mean, did you look at the eyeball before you gave it to me?
Yeah, I just don't get it.
If I were to guess, and you know, it's still fresh in my mind, so I'm gonna have time to think about it. But it kind of seems like there was maybe some peoples that were here that weren't Fae peoples. I think they're just like regular peoples or mortal peoples. I don't know if you call them regulars because I'm sure you don't.
Yep. Yeah, the June bugs.
Yeah, the June bugs. I think they were June bugs, and I think they were taking care of the dragons because in this place they couldn't really take care of themselves. There was something about the Fae place that the dragons didn't do well with, but their babies seemed to be changing to better suit this place. And so after a couple of like one family into another family into another family, like later on those ones were way better at living here. I think that's what was going on. But I don't know why. It started like later in that person's life. I didn't get to see how they first got here or like the first dragons got here, so I don't know how it started. But it does seem like there were some June bugs that were taking care of dragons. And then the dragons ended up going out on their own eventually.
Okay. Did you learn how to kill him?
No. If anything, you might be able, if I were to guess, and this is just my guess, it seemed like some of the dragons would take things away from places, so maybe you could starve them. Like there was one that really liked warm things, like very fiery things, and it seemed to like suck up the heat and make it not so hot anymore. I bet if that dragon couldn't get heat for a while, it would probably go hungry and die, if I were to guess. But not all of them were like that. Some of them were about happy feelings, and some of them were other things. So you would have to like find out what the thing is that they eat, and then probably have them not be able to eat it for a while. But I don't know exactly how you would do that, because they seem like very big things that are hard to stop. And you said you got this from a huntmaster guy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they finally replaced Lariel as the person I was supposed to report to, so...
They replaced Lariel?
Gone.
That's concerning. That might be why I haven't heard from her in a
reported
while.
for duty.
Did this new person, did they have the ability to make weather things happen? Like big ice from the sky?
No, but fall and winter court usually work together.
Yeah, okay. So that sounds more like a Shiva-y kind of thing, for sure. Well, I do think that was a very important one. That gives me a lot to think about. But you don't think that place was anywhere near here?
Oh no, it's really far away. It's also just like completely in the ground.
Oh, they like completely buried it.
Yeah. It got...
Understandable. Okay. Well, I definitely think that was a valuable memory, so thank you for that. Even though that's more like for you, but I also really appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, you can't tell nobody though.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody. I'm just thinking how I could use it in case the dragons show up. Mr. Oberon seems to think that the dragons are about to show up
we
here.
just don't give him anything.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. They say that they were gone for a while because we ended up killing them before they got really big, but then some of them went away for a while, and now they're real big.
Wait, you did kill them?
I mean, a lot of them.
How did you do it? Well, yeah, how did they do it?
I mean...
They just, like, punctured them a lot or something? Or did they, like, get them to say, I wish I wasn't real, and then they went...
I mean, probably a few of them died that way at first, but generally speaking, after you trick a few, they seem to all kind of, like, wise up. No, it was war.
So they're kind of smarts, too?
But, to be fair... Yeah, to be fair, though, like, I was told that they just came into the fake kingdom and started eating everything like a big caterpillar. Yeah, I don't like that.
I wonder where they came from, though. Maybe... Because it didn't seem like that was the town of Sundial, like an earlier Sundial or something. So, if that wasn't Sundial, I wonder how they got here.
As a DM note, because it's been a while, you do remember when I gave you one of the first age memories that on the manifest that came in, it was dragon eggs for labor source.
When they first arrived?
They did have beasts of burden.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So they brought them, but then is it true that that wasn't a Sundial town, or would I not know?
I mean, in the memory, there was a Sundial on you.
Okay. Okay. I didn't remember you saying that. Well then, in that case, I should probably think about this a little bit, and, look forward to the next time you've got an eyeball for me. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, remember not to tell nobody, though.
Yeah, I won't. I don't want to die.
A gruesome death.
Yeah.
The worst death.
Yeah. Without eyes, and also probably turning into a plant.
I'll just... Yep. We'll just cut you into pieces and let every court torture you.
Well, at least it would bring you all together.
Cringe!
Yep.
How dare you!
My final wishes would be to make you all friends.
How dare you violate the sanctity of Kubrick Rock?
How did I do that?
I don't know, you brought cringe into it.
Yeah, but you brought me into it, which means you knew you were getting into it. You knew. Yep, you knew.
No.
Yep.
But
You know I'm made of like 100% cringe. I'm all friendship, sunshine, and rainbows.
here.
Uh-huh.
Especially the sunshine.
Yeah, I know. But I've got a very, very valuable thing now with this eyeball. So, you know, I'm not all the things you hate.
That is true.
Though, oh no, you may have made a terrible mistake in that all of my memories are going to be of all the sunshine and rainbows, and you're going to have to pick out all the valuable memories out of all of my friendship and happiness. What a horrible day that will be.
Stop having those.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
Dumb.
Hey, Mr. Pips.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh my god, there's so many of you.
Yeah, there's many kobolds now.
Now there's like one, and there's two.
Yep, there's Mr. Pips, me, Zichi, Jasper, and Zek now. So many kobolds. We're gonna need to like dig out the den now. Make it a little bigger. Maybe get 2 bunk beds.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, or maybe stack them even higher.
Ooh.
We got a bunk bed in the Doge house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we made it out of sticks.
Well, that's good. That sounds sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
What you up to today, Mr. Pips?
Pip just got up, so not much.
All right. Well, the news in town is that
Wait,
Mr. Wayne.
You're blue. That's purple. Oh, wait. Two blue.
Yeah, but Zek said he served a red dragon. I don't know why he's blue, but I'm a green kobold, okay? Just because I'm not green right now doesn't mean I wasn't a green kobold. You were there.
Purple.
Well, it's like pinkish,
No,
but you
don't
know,
remember.
whatever. Anyway, the news on the street is that Mr. Wayne is trying to make a fishing rod for Mr. Oberon, and so they went out to the forest to make a fishing rod out of stuff. And dragons are supposed to be coming to town to ruin everything. So, you know, there's that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I kind of figured since you knew you were friends with the Amethyst Dragon that maybe you would know something about it, but I know you haven't talked to her in a while other than praying to her, so I don't know if she talks to you or something.
Sometimes. Not as much anymore.
Has she said anything about, like, you know, wiping out all Fae in existence or anything?
No. She protects people, not destroys.
Oh, that's good. Maybe there's more of them like that, you know.
Maybe that's...
You know, you may want to talk to her about that.
Good information.
Yeah, see if there's like something she knows, seeing as she's a dragon and all of that stuff, and she's from here and all of that. Well, I am gonna go see if maybe Mr.
okay.
Gracious woke
I'll talk
up.
to the Amethyst Dragon.
That's probably not a good idea. You're still working on your, like, talking skills and stuff right now. Remember you saying talking is exhausting? You remember that? That was like maybe 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Mr. Pipier talks to her a
Very
lot,
long
though, so
conversation.
he would probably be the best one for it, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, Mr.
Okay.
It's not exactly something we should be telling everyone because we don't want the town to panic or whatnot, but I already found out that Lou knows, and Lou loves telling everybody everything, so I don't expect it to be a secret for long then. The little girl that was up until recently very red, but now she's more blue? Or he? I don't know.
Is her name Lou?
Yeah. They've got like stars for eyes.
I know. I
Look.
want
Yeah, I bet you do. But we've heard that dragons are supposed to be coming to town, and that they really don't like the Fae, and that they want to kill them all. And because there's lots of Fae in town and lots of people that are friendly with them, they are probably going to cause problems. But you, being someone who knows a dragon from this place, and, you know, has a good relationship with them, maybe you can do a little talking to the amethyst dragon, and maybe get them on our side or something? I don't know.
Pip could try.
That'd be good.
Pip will have to go to shrine and do some praying, but sure, Pip can go do that if you want.
I'm hoping that when they show up, they aren't going to be like all rah and immediately attack, and like maybe I can like talk to them for a little bit first and be like, hey, I know you don't like the Fae, but no.
Nah, if you talk to him, then we won't get to kill him, because then everybody will be like holding hands, and they'll be dancing around like a mushroom ring, and there'll be a maypole, and then you're all gonna be like, oh, we're such good friends.
That's an amazing idea.
It
I
doesn't
wasn't
sound
even
like a bad thing.
Yeah, let's do that one. That's a good idea.
That's terrible. No, that's so cringe.
That's a good
so
idea.
Much cringe.
That's a great idea.
You know, I feel my life force fading just by imagining how much cringe.
Look, if we save the rest of the Fae just by you dying from cringe, I think that's a worthy sacrifice then. I think I could live with that.
No.
I
wouldn't. I'd be dead.
Yeah, but think about it. We would all honor you. You were the sacrifice that stopped the dragons from killing all the Fae. You'd be venerated throughout all time as the person that was basically that came up with the idea, that was so full of friendship and whatnot.
That sounds like cringe, and I don't give a shit about any of that. I want pizza.
Well, you'll be dead, so it's okay.
Wow.
I don't like this plan. Bad plan.
Pip likes his plan.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try to make friends with them and see if I can stop them from going to war with us, but if there's any strings you can pull with the Amethyst Dragon, even if it's just like a little bit, it would probably be very helpful.
Okay.
Also, I don't know how you feel about fighting dragons.
Protecting town is important, so...
I don't know how I feel about it. After seeing the Emerald Dragon talk to other dragons, it's always been really scary to see other ones show up.
There are a lot of them, though.
Well, I'm gonna probably go get some food and stuff and think about all of the thoughts that are now ruminating in my head. But, hopefully,
Yeah, go
it
make
doesn't...
some good eyeball memories.
I
Pip is
definitely
gonna
will.
go pray at the shrine. Maybe the Amethyst Dragon will answer him.
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna magically disappear. Because I can do that.
Do that. I'll see you later, little fox.
Goodbye.
Ooh, dumplings.
Don't try to do anything that might fracture the core. Thank you.
No. The core will be fine. The core will be fine, I promise. Hi, Nirta. I'm about to bend all the water out of Aqua since he appears to be stuck in a suit of armor. All right. Let's start.
Oh.
There we go. You should be feeling the bulk come up from your knees, out through the hands, up through the chest, and the armor that has it out should be clattering to the ground, since there's nothing to hold it up. The only thing still there will be the helmet, which will now fall to the ground. Upside down, and now... Okay, now just let the rest of you out now. Go ahead and... There's a big open hole.
Bah! Well,
yeah.
Well done.
Good as new.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Thank you. All right. I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't know if that would work since you're an elemental and not 100% water. It's your living thing, but in theory it should work, and I'm glad it worked.
Just remember to write it down.
Hey, at least now we got like a piece of armor.
True.
Of course, yes.
I mean, like,
It's very shiny and yellow.
I don't even know what it's from. I found in the water, like, I was fighting a Leviathan or something small like a Leviathan, and I had to change forms quickly before I could get hit my Leviathan armor, and I went through some cracks, found myself in that. I don't even know even how I got my core in there in the first place. I must have been that, like, this head's open lid must have clamped down after I went in. I don't know.
I mean, if it was in the water, it's probably rusted shut, right? That probably makes sense. It's probably why it was easy to get stuck in.
I never noticed it until I heard a loud clang, and then, well, the rest is history.
Well, glad I could help you, friend. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Figuring out how they get me out looking like this.
I imagine it'll probably wear off. We'll need Mizu for it in either case, but yes, don't worry, I do remember that as well. Just kind of puzzling. No one's lasted this long with the gender change potion before, so it's very strange to me.
I mean, someone said maybe it just affects us elementals differently. I don't know. I mean, I was able to get rid of it initially by going to the water and actually focusing the potion out, but then people were worried that gender potion just being in the water might cause some issues, so I brought it back in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, that's true, but, I mean, it'll dilute eventually, and nature does have a way of sort of recycling things, so I don't think it would be that big of a deal. Plus, if it was that diluted, I imagine anybody who accidentally drank it and potentially had any issues with that, drinking seawater and whatnot, would probably be worse than changing genders for a few minutes. Just something to think about.
I guess? I don't know. I'm not exactly knowledgeable on most things mortal, even though I'm still learning personally.
You could always do it in the gay water fountain. It could become the gender change fountain.
That's smart. I like that.
The gay fountain?
Yeah, that's at the top of the hill, in the middle of town, with the gay water.
It has the gay water.
Are you talking about that rainbow fountain thing?
Yes, the
gay
This is magic.
Well, I've drank from it, and it just seems to taste like normal water. It's just very rainbowy.
Yeah, it just tastes like normal water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
I can't taste water because I'm literally made of it.
Yeah.
It might as well look like a rainbow at that point.
Just a suggestion. Just throwing it out there.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
But if you're saying you
could
could
sort it out for you soon.
If we're saying that you could like launder magic into potions, we might be able to use that. Like, let's say something magically affects you, and then we could get like a big barrel of water, and then we put you in it, and then you expel the magic into it, and then get out. Then we have a barrel of that magic
that's
effect.
The thing. I can't really use magic properly.
Yeah, but you
I'm
could.
more of a physical fighter.
But you could get rid of the potion inside of you, right? That's what you just said?
Yeah. No, I could, but it took me a while to really figure it out, because I already tried that process before, a few days ago, and it didn't work, but I kept trying over and over and over. And I think I just got lucky that time, so I don't know if it will even work again. I could have just gotten lucky.
True, fair.
We can give it a shot in either case.
But you might want to write that down.
Yes.
But if I'm going to do that, I would rather have Mizu here so I can dunk her head into this gay fountain. And she's out there having a laugh of her life looking like me at the moment.
It does sound like a problem. Well,
Yeah,
I suppose when we see her, we'll get it sorted out once we get her. Once we find her.
I'm just worried that she's trying to make another deal and have to make me wear another dress again. And it's so
You looked good in it, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
looked good on you.
encourage it.
I think you look good.
Just saying.
Embarrassing. It's not combat attire. There's nothing beneficial about it. I mean, this one at least has some combat potential.
It's nice boots.
Since you're fully up.
Lots of ankle support.
To me, this is armor. To me, this is armor. I mean, none of this is real. It's just an extension of myself, per se. It's like my Leviathan armor and stuff like that. But that dress I wore was actually fabricated, and I had to wear it. So you know.
What's wrong with that? Dresses are nice.
It's not combat attire.
Mr. Wayne wears a dress.
It's true.
And I mean,
is that what he's wearing?
Good.
I guess.
I mean, good for him, but I'm talking about me.
Yeah, but he does combat in it.
I'm all about training.
You can train. In fact, if you train in something that's less effective, won't that make you a more effective warrior?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's like you're putting a handicap on yourself.
Wait. I've never thought about that! Oh my... You're a genius!
Okay, well, I'm glad you like it.
That is true. That is how I would describe Mr. Fizwick.
Oh, you're a genius! Maybe that's why Mizu did it.
Think about this.
Ooh,
Think about this scenario. You're out in the forest and you're in your dress and you look like a fragile little being and something tries to pick a fight with you. And you start the fight and you're like, oh, look, I'm so restricted and stuff. And then in the middle of it, whatcha! You rip it off and you're in your armor and then you actually go full force on them and they won't see it coming.
That's true.
I like your thinking. Oh my god.
Yeah, a little sneakiness in there. Just put a little sneaky in it.
But I don't like playing dirty though. That's the only thing. I don't like playing dirty.
And
they
I
would be
just gotta
doing
say,
dirty by
the
picking
only
on
way
someone in a
this-
dress.
True. And I mean, it's going to be more effective if you're still in this form. Just saying.
Maybe. I don't know.
Kale.
Yeah,
They don't talk.
That part of armor, pretty probably would fit him. Awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that person's a living suit of armor. That's just them. It's kind of like you're handing them like a. You just hand him like a decapitated head.
That was the torso. Wait.
Okay, you're handing them a
if you're
decapitated
part of armor-
torso.
Wait, if you're part. Wait, if they're a part of armor, wouldn't that be like a core or something that you could just.
Not everyone's an elemental, Aqua.
By the way, out character wise, it's a good rock knight armor.
By the way, was there something you need to do to...
on the ground there as well.
I just gained some information that I'm going to have to launder to you through inaccurate concepts and hypotheticals.
Pleasure.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I found out in the water.
Okay, in that case, perhaps we should, because the tower's actually quite crowded right now, perhaps we should head somewhere else.
Actually, Give me a second. I'm gonna pick up some of this.
Okay. Oh, alright, well, I'm gonna leave you two to that. We're gonna head out for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you have the capability of
Let's see. How about the beach? Or is there anyone out there right now? I know Wayne was going to go fishing.
There was a bunch of people there earlier, but I think they're all gone now.
Alright, let's go down to the
whole
beach.
thing. Sounds like a plan. I spent a lot of my day at the beach today.
Oh, really? I mean, we don't have to go there if you don't want to.
Yeah. No. It's all fine by me. I don't get the opportunity often.
Mm-hmm.
Never realized how rocky it is. You ever head down there?
Yeah.
Lots of big rocks.
I've not been, like, in the water. I don't feel really comfortable with being in big water.
That's understandable. We just had to spend a whole bunch of time down there, so there was some conflicting reports about whether or not we can make it through the barrier. It was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on, let me find somewhere to sit. Right here on this side of here. There we go. All right.
Okay. So, as pertaining to the coming of certain visitors that may bring problems with them, let's say that you had an infestation of certain... Do you know termites?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
I would.
So if you were going to starve termites, what would you take away from them?
Get wood, I suppose.
Right. Let's say that termites, instead of eating wood, ate on happiness. What would you take away from the termites to stop them from eating?
I suppose happiness, but that sounds dire.
Right. Let's say termites ate fire, and now you have an infestation of termites. What would you do to get rid of the termites?
Put out all the fire.
Right. So now I'll tell you that here in the Feywild, there are a lot of termites that like to feast on different things, like the things I just mentioned. So if we had an infestation of termites, we would have to figure out which kind of termites they were, and then also make sure that they didn't get to eat their food, right? To get rid of termites.
Okay. Yes, to get rid of termites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'm following.
Yes.
Potentially.
See, termites, where I come from, only eat wood. But after they've been here in the Feywilds for a couple generations, the termites not necessarily just eat wood anymore. They now like the magics of the Feywilds, and like different ones eat different things.
Oh. Alright. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sort of
so
picking up what I'm putting down?
I think so. I feel like I'm missing like one important bit, but I think I've got it mostly. And in this instance you're referring to our visitors, right? Which, by the way, I don't know if you've heard, but Oberon more or less spilled the beans to everybody yesterday. So everyone knows at this point the dragons are coming.
Sure, but for my own purposes, and how I get information, I want to reiterate that I'm talking about termites here.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Good, just making sure that
so
you
I
understand.
think I get it now. I get it now. Yes, you're speaking a hypothetical about termites and such.
Yes.
Okay.
Additionally, I may know that these termites, termites are also natural to this place, but the termites that are specifically invading, they aren't from here. And they may have come with people that originally were the first people to do the whole sundial thing.
I see. Okay, I get it all now. Understood. And, okay. So in this hypothetical termite situation...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like...
Right.
The people
So now
that
they're
came
coming through.
here
I see.
to first found Sundial, like, they really wanted to have good wood eaters, so they brought termites with them, and the termites ended up not just eating wood after they've been here for a while and started eating those other things, and then they became a different termite-related problem for the Fae.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, in that case... Okay. Alright. I think I know what I'm going to need to prepare now.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose we should get ready for our visitors.
Right. If you would like to tell John about the termites for me so that you can use your much better words in the context of the situation, I would appreciate that.
No worries, Nirta, I can absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen John since the beginning of the day, though. I'll see if I can find them.
Mm-hmm. If anything, he might be helping Wayne with the whole fishing thing. Maybe.
Perhaps. Well, I appreciate the information, and yes, I can understand why there is a need for secrecy, simply because we don't want people worrying. Although I guess I really haven't heard many people clamor about it, despite the fact that it's happening. People don't seem as concerned as I thought.
Well,
Maybe
Mr. Oberon seems very concerned about the visitors, but it seems like, and don't get me wrong, but this is the usual thing for the adventurers and defenders to just be like, oh, there's a big bad problem, I think we're just going to pull out the swords and just chaka and fight it. And I don't know if that's going to go so well.
Right.
I think they've gotten enough.
Think...
They've gotten so many wins in their pockets that they've grown a little bit too arrogant, maybe?
Pride comes before the fall, as I've heard, yes. Well, I was actually meaning to ask you, when they do show up, if you might be the lead as far as being able to show them around and potentially make a good first impression with these dragons. More or less because, well, I would think you and Pip would know a bit more about them. And more importantly, I think you would both also not immediately go towards, oh, it's something I can fight, I like to fight, etc., etc.
I'm also beginning to wonder if the sundial specifically is teleporting lots of kobolds here in preparation for this. We've now had this plot of dragons showing up, and now we've had like 2 more kobolds show up recently. And I don't know if I should put those things together, but I'm beginning to wonder, you know?
We do have a lot of them. You know, we do, so we don't have kobolds because we don't have dragons where I'm from, but we do have kobolds that look a bit different. They look more dog-like. It's strange, interesting fellows. But I suppose that's because where I'm from, dragons don't exist outside of fairy tales. But I am curious to meet them, and I would like to also be there to potentially parley with them. Perhaps we can maybe sort out some termite issues. Perhaps maybe some termites can talk, and maybe we can make things a little better for everybody. What do you think?
Yes, but I'm very concerned about one thing, and that is people that venture out into the forest, I think, are going to be more likely to run into the dragons first. And all the people that are really good at talking to people aren't exactly the ones that spend a lot of time out in the forest. I get the strong feeling that the first contact the dragons are going to have is going to be with the more rambunctious elements of the town.
I think you may be right. Yeah, perhaps.
To that end, though, we do have Grandpa John out there, and he has maybe not the best history of talking things out, but he's a little bit more level-headed than the others, and he's more of an informant, so he would let me know, compared to, like, finding out from Mr. Wayne, like, 3 or 4 days later that they fought a dragon. in passing. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, we
Right.
already fought one and got yelled at and stuff." And I'd be like, "Whoa, when did this happen?" He'd be like, "Oh, like 3 days ago. I ate some watermelon afterwards and blah blah blah." Wayne dingies.
That does sound like him, doesn't it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It might be worthwhile. People have been asking me to head out there for some time. I'm not the adventurer I used to be, but perhaps I should. Maybe go out there as an opportunity to perhaps really run into them. Maybe someday, maybe tomorrow.
What I'm thinking
We'll see.
I have some duties to attend to here. I'm going to be renovating the church because I want to try to push the town into being a little bit more... I don't know if it's arrogant to say, but more like me, and a little bit more patient and more talky and less fighty, and that's my plan, and to imbibe some knowledge that I've gathered. So I'm going to be working on that, so I can't really go out in the forest. So I'm just hoping that Grandpa John and maybe Michael or some other people I can trust to, if they contact a dragon, maybe not immediately try to kill it and instead get one of us to go talk.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Yes, I think that's wise. If they do show up here, then potentially, we can then maybe talk with them, obviously. And if we meet them out there, hopefully, like you said, someone like John, or maybe even someone like Iona. She tends to go out pretty often. She tends towards diplomacy as well.
True.
So, potentially,
and George.
If they run into them first. George as well. George is there. He's helped me rebuild some of the cabinets up there recently. Very good fellow. Yes, we've had more level-headed people come in recently, I suppose.
Not to mention, I've done a pretty good job of being
issue.
Friendly with the Fae, so maybe if Miss Eska knew about dragons encroaching on the forest, she might, talk to us about it. So I'm hoping that's how that goes. I'm just worried.
Yeah.
With how worried Oberon is, worries me. Because I have never seen him like this before.
I agree. John told me in secret he was dire about it, and when I spoke with Oberon, he's usually a little more, how should I say, playful with his speech. A lot of, oh yes, and then go about this, and quest, and I'm gonna trick you, ha. But
that sounds exactly
less
like him.
of that lately. Thank you. But I haven't had as many conversations with him, but honestly, it seems as of late he's been more... Yeah, there's something off about him.
He's definitely
went.
He's being way more relaxed with giving information. He's still making people do little things for him, but I feel like it's less for more.
Yes. He was just like, I asked him straight up what he knows about dragons, and he started to tell me. And then I think Lou started mentioning what she knew, but I think he just kind of let her handle it from there. But yes, essentially it seems as though he was just willing to give me that without much information. Although I did ask him why, if dragons are such intelligent creatures, why hasn't there been any talks of diplomacy? How come this is not seem to be an option? And he told me I'd have to do a pretty big favor for him to tell me that information. So, and I already owe a favor to someone from the Winter Court, and that's a whole thing, and then Lord knows when they're going to come to collect. So it's a whole thing. So I don't want to... Yes?
Is it Shiva? Or are you at Liberty?
Back in the old town.
Alright, it's just
Yes.
Shiva's
I
the
can just
only
say,
Winter
yeah.
Court that I have met so far. I haven't met anybody else from the Winter Court yet, so I was hoping maybe you knew someone else, but you haven't heard from her then, have you?
No, and I'm grateful for it. Essentially, I owed her a favor to try and help Pip with something, and when I came back, Pip was healed, so that just kind of left me with an artifact and a favor that I couldn't really use. I suppose that's how things go here.
That could still be to our benefit. Because if we can get some more of the powerful Fae, if they don't like the dragons, there might be a time where we need to call on them. So just because you are in debt to her, we could use that to lure her here and let them know about the dragons in case they don't, so that they can get invested. I don't mean to push you to have to repay a debt that maybe you aren't in a position to do that. But if there was a way that we could bring more of the courts into this than just the spring court, we might be better off. I know I've been trying to get a hold of Lyriel, but that's been a wash.
And I don't know who Lyriel is, but I'm going to assume summer or for autumn.
Autumn.
But yes. Oh, okay. I don't think I ever met them. In either case, yes. I mean, having a favor owed to a powerful fae like that is essentially a proverbial sword of Damocles. Every day I'm kind of wondering, when are they going to come to collect? When are they going to come to collect? Just hanging over my head. So I'm all right with it if it means we can finally get that. And besides, I don't even have the artifact anymore anyway. I think that Void fellow stole it at some point. It's been gone. It's like if you see him and he's carrying it, maybe that might be an issue. It's like an orb of cold. Kind of just perpetual cold. I was using it to hold on to things, or both cool things, essentially, in the tower, but it's been gone for some time. If you see it, obviously, probably having to talk to Void, or Lord knows if it even got lost out there. Knowing him, he probably just threw it out into the Feywild for us just to mess with me. So who knows?
Okay. All done. Well, Miss Lyriel was you know about the different representatives of the courts?
Yes.
Miss Titania is the Spring Court representative. Miss Shiva was the Winter Court representative. Miss Jinico was the Summer Court representative. Lyriel was the Autumn Court representative. However, she was told by one of the higher-ups in the Autumn Court to start the Wild Hunt on Sundial, so that the Fae would come together to destroy the town, but she didn't want to do that. So she's kind of stopped being a presence because she's worried that being a presence would probably bring that down upon us. But at the same time, now that she's been absent for so long, it sounds like the Autumn Court might be trying to replace her and get somebody more willing to do it. So I'm trying to get a hold of her so that I can find out what's going on. But Little Fox just told me that the Autumn Court is getting very restless about how we haven't been attacked yet by the courts. So sadly, we may be beset on all sides by dragons and burrow people and fae alike.
Oh, that's why, and I've been keeping this close to my chest. But my idea is to potentially speak with the dragons. If they're beings of intellect, they might be beings of reason. Understand that we are, to some degree, victims of the Fae as well. We've been brought here against our own will, and more or less left to the whims of the Feywild. Potentially, we can work alongside them, and maybe perhaps have a powerful ally should the Fae decide to turn on us. That's my goal. I am a little less trusting of them than you are. I know you've made friends with many, but I'll be honest. Most interactions I've had with them have been hearing about how they like to do awful things, or turn people into plants or trees, or, in the case of Oberon, trap our queen in a burning tree. That was my introduction to Oberon.
Yeah.
By the way, is Sen alright? Is she alright? I haven't seen her. Is she dead? She's not dead, is she?
No, she's not
Sen?
dead. Look, if it helps you feel a little bit better about that, the whole reason that he was doing things back then that were very contentious was that we needed a lot of glamour for the big ritual that we did in town, and they get glamour through very strong emotions. So he did things that were very mean, but it was to elicit so many emotions that they could then take that magic and then use it to save the town and end the corruption that was going on. So while I don't necessarily agree with using the strong emotions of fear and anger and distress like he seems okay to do, I know a lot of that was just to help the town, and because they're Fae, they don't quite understand that, it leaves people feeling hurt when that happens. But it was, at the end of the day, to help everybody.
I suppose it worked. I can still remember Julian yelling at us. Goodness. Seems like so long ago.
You could definitely say it was effective.
I guess. I seem to have mellowed out. I suppose that tracks. It's still difficult for me to trust, though. Especially now that, and I hate to keep going back to it, but that Void fellow started picking off people within ours, and that Unseelie fellow, who I agreed to help, and then just stole a bunch of our crops.
Right.
Which
didn't make sense at all.
That's a whole nother
thing. I'm
thing.
gonna steal all your things and bring you out in the woods so that I can then, talk to you about a problem I need help with. Like, couldn't you have just, come into town and said, hey, I got this problem, can you help me with that? Like, come on.
That's what they did the day before. They talked to me, and I said, sure, I'll help you. And then I kind of put through my own plans. It took a day or two, but that's because alchemy takes supplies together.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's very fickle, very with the wind, a lot of them. So
Their concept of time is just very different, because sometimes they think something should happen a very short amount of time, and then other times they expect something to happen over an eon, and then it happens instantly. They just don't. We don't work at the same pace, basically.
Time is strange here, so I suppose that makes sense. Well, it sounds like we're on the same sheet of music generally then, at the very least, as far as wanting to work towards diplomacy. So that's good to hear. I mean, obviously with you, Nirta, that's almost always the case. So
yeah,
that's good.
I'm definitely not going to be fighting them, that's for sure.
Me neither. What am I going to do, splash some water on them?
Yeah, I can
Not
make
a
them
lot.
sneeze with some spores to their face, agitate their eyeballs, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be a little more effective. Maybe if I could do some of my ice magic, but ever since I've come here, my mana's been different. I think it has to do with the affinities. Where I'm from, I was an ice mage, so I think it just kind of shifted to the closest thing, and that made it very difficult. I still haven't quite learned. I've learned how to boil water, oddly enough, but I can't freeze it still. It's still not there. Something's missing.
Interesting.
Part of the reason I started speaking. It's part of the reason I started speaking with Shiva to begin with, and ended up leading to that whole thing.
Well, she still might help you.
Well,
I haven't talked to her
Maybe.
since the old town, so I don't know if anything's been going on with them. I have no idea. I feel so out of the loop with the other courts. The only people I've talked to really is Oberon, Titania, and the little Shadelings. The Shadelings are not the best for getting concrete information from outside the eyeballs. And Oberon and Titania, they're always little trixies and they talk around things, so at least Shiva was blunt. She would basically say what was on her mind. And Lyriel, for what it's worth, she seemed honest, but she was reluctant to give information. She wasn't tricky about it, she just didn't want to say things, so whatever. And then Jenico, I don't even know about her.
I think I met Jenica once. She's the fox, right?
Yeah.
I see. Met her exactly once. I don't think I've met too many other. I guess I have met her. Never met the Falkor. Interesting.
Well, the only time I know Lyriel was actually in town was during the festival. Outside of that, I have only ever seen her in the forest.
Right. That was her? Okay.
She had the
I remember
antlers.
now. That was... Yeah. I remember now. Yes. Well, in either case, yes. I think we've got that all cleared up now, and that's good.
Okay. But, of course, remember, tell John about the termites. And also, if there's anything else you learn, I would love to hear it if it would help me in talking to them. Otherwise, I'm going to start working on the church and then try to be more present in the forest.
I don't think I've learned much more than you already know. They're highly intelligent creatures. I think you've mentioned before they can take different shapes, but I think you're the first person to mention that. What's more, I mean, just typical stuff. People seem more interested in being like, yeah, the green ones shoot acid, and it's like, okay, that's good to know, but less what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah.
I was looking more for general. I guess the idea is it's hard to pin them down because they are intelligent enough to be essentially the same, or even smarter potentially than like the average person walking around. So
yeah,
they're
with
going to be varied.
Intelligence is going to come more originality, I think.
Variance? Yeah, variance, I suppose. And yes. So that makes it tricky. So it just is kind of like not exactly what I was looking for, but... And I couldn't find anything about, like, worst case scenario. I couldn't find anything about, like, potential weaknesses or anything. So, not a lot. It just makes it tough. They seem like they're really powerful creatures, and if they want us gone, then that's a problem. But hopefully we can talk through it.
True. All right, Mr. Fiswick, thank you for talking to me, and I hope your research goes well.
Of course. Absolutely. Thank you very much. And if you see Ivy, let her know I figured out. She asked me to make a recipe for a fire resistance potion. If you see her, let her know that Fiswick has that figured out. I'll see if I could find her as well.
Okay, I'll let her know. Thank you.
Of course, I'll join you getting up out of here. Got sand on my shoes.
Oh yeah, this is
too long.
I just like wriggling my toes in them.
Oh, you don't wear shoes, do you?
No. It's easier for climbing, I feel like, because I got the claws.
That makes sense. I suppose that does make sense. I think you did show me near the bottom of the farm, right? That's where you're staying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would probably be way easier to climb. I remember that was a sheer climb for me. Very rough.
Also, you could tell a lot about...
Around?
You could tell a lot about the ground by how it feels. Like, you can tell if there's, like, clay in it, or if it's just soily or dirty, just by putting your toes in it. You can learn a lot that way.
I see. Hopefully you didn't step on any rocks over there. It seemed like the place was littered with them.
It was, but it's fine. When you've spent your whole life in caves, it's pretty easy to not be hurt by it.
Right. Okay. Did everyone turn in early? I'm wondering.
Well, I think they all went to the forest for things.
By there, I think. Did they?
Nice. But it can hold all of that.
Hello.
Do you need something?
No, I'm just seeing
Information by
people.
chance?
Information? Wait, are you saying you have information?
I have information about a lot of things.
Anything relevant to current events?
Current events? I do have a lot of information about that.
Is that what you're telling Mr. Lineback?
What do you want to know? No, it is not. I'm telling you about something.
Something else.
Probably treasure related.
Sorry, Tom. Of course.
Did you find some nice treasure today? Do you want to
Always
talk about it?
Of course I did. No, I'm not going to talk about it because then you'll know how much I have and then you're going to try to steal it.
Well, that doesn't sound like something I would do.
Sounds like something I would do.
That would be something
There
I'd
you
expect
go.
Lou to do. Yeah, true. Well, in that case then...
So you want to know some information?
I do.
Okay, what do you want to know about? Everything or the basic?
Well, what do you consider everything?
Well, we had a conversation with a bunch of people. Well, I think it involved Michael and Wayne mainly. They told me that eventually a dragon will be attacking this area very soon. Maybe 3, 4, or 5. Dragon. Big dragon.
Yeah.
And they will be attacking here, and if anyone will accept them here, then they will destroy the whole entire town.
Okay. Have you been...
You make friends with the dragon, no offense, they will destroy the town.
Have you
What do you
been
need?
telling this to everybody, or have you been kind of keeping it on the
No.
secret?
I don't really care too much to tell people about most of this stuff. Because number one, most people wouldn't believe me, and number two, I doubt anyone would really care too much.
Okay.
I think it's more the first thing. People wouldn't believe me.
Okay, but you know, maybe
Think about it. It's coming from me.
I know, but maybe we're trying not to get the town into a panic over it, or have people like go to try to find the dragons and hunt them down. So we're trying to keep that on like.
Oh no, they'll be coming here.
I know they'll be
We
coming
won't be able
here.
to find them before they find us.
Yeah, but I don't want
Great.
people to go try.
That's the last thing we need is dragons. And
Hey,
this
you could buy
crazy
off a
town.
dragon with gold.
I don't think.
Never give one of my gold.
Yeah, that's not something. If
I'm more
anything,
greedy than them.
he's,
You never know.
he would probably ask the dragons where their hoard is so he could find all of their gold.
Okay, that's a dumb idea.
There it is.
See?
If you do that and they ask for you to be friends with them by doing that, decline it. You cannot become friends with them at any point.
Of course, I'm a terrible friend anyways.
Well, another thing is, while we were talking about that, they said that if they destroy the Thae that is in here, that basically puts the barrier over the town, it would basically destroy the town, the barrier, in which key fact is false. This barrier was meant by the Waypoint, it has nothing to do with the Thae.
Okay, well,
I got that information from Oberon.
we're gonna try to not let the dragons kill all the Faes and destroy the town. It's my plan, my hope. Yeah, we know they're smart, so maybe I could talk to them and be like, hey, you know, why don't we all just be friends instead?
Ooh, I should probably tell you some other things then. So, number one, Iona, I do know about this. Iona, got a favor from Oberon for future. For completing a certain quest. It was
That's
about the love quest.
Yeah.
They completed it, and in turn, they get a favor from them. That's a current event thing. Other than that,
What's the shiny thing you
I
got
think
there?
that's pretty much caught up. I wouldn't worry about it. Also, yeah, you probably know about the ocean at this point. We explored it. Current event.
Yeah, wasn't there like a big
we found some
sunken ship
dragon
thing?
bones down there.
Oh. Were they
Dragon
special in
bones,
any way?
some ships, a mimic. Reaches into my bag and pulls out a piece of dragon bone.
Oh.
There you go, you can have it.
I can have it?
I got a giant tooth of it. I am fine.
Okay. Is there anything special about it that you know of, other than it's a dragon bone?
Absolutely not. It's just dragon bone from right now, and it's extremely strong. Dragon bone is some of the toughest material.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, if you make a knife from it, it probably would never break, but
I'm not exactly the kind of person to
It's
make
your
a
choice.
knife out of something, but thank you for the suggestion.
hey, you want to cut some mushrooms down?
Do
Take home
you
with you? Like, say you find a mushroom.
do you know anything
I don't know.
about the wild hunt?
What specific is more specifically? Can I get any tiny bit more information?
No.
The wild hunt. I've heard of it, but there's a lot of things currently happening, so all my information is pretty much.
Have you any information on the various Fey Court representatives?
Shay Court represent. Ooh,
Do you know who they are?
thing. I think I might know one, but I haven't them in a while.
That's okay. Do you know anything about the shack in the swamp?
Absolutely, I do. What information do you need to know?
Well, I don't know. I went there once.
Witch that was in there gave me the creeps.
Yeah, Henrietta.
Yeah, Henrietta, I know about her. She doesn't like me. I terrify the shit out of her.
Oh, I kept calling her ugly and she loved it, so we're friends now.
Well, no, she's terrified of me. Just straight up, she's terrified of me. I'm not terrified of her. She's terrified of me.
I understand that. I'm telling you that I made friends with her.
Something up with that woman, and trust me, I
Yeah,
don't
good job.
want another woman running after me anymore.
I
Good to
offered
know.
to make friends with her, but she gave me a deal that I would decline, personally.
Okay. What was
I am
it?
the type of person to make a lot of deals with things, but she wants me to bite off more than I can chew. Which in that case, I do not want to do it. That doesn't sound like a good deal for me.
Don't do it. I already did it. What is it? I see you. What is it?
Oh.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Cute!
Is that
Cute
shady?
baby.
I don't have a pineapple anymore,
Baby.
if that's what you're trying to look for. I'm not having it.
I wouldn't worry about it. So about the thing in the swamp, what do you need to know about it?
Well, I made friends with Henrietta and she brought me back to the shack. And that's all I remember.
Okay, I should be able to inform you about that then. But the shack in particular, whenever something or anyone or anything gets closer that isn't a Fae, they will lose all their memories.
Yeah, I mean, I now know that.
Special being underneath. There's a special being underneath the shack. It is a giant eyeball. I don't know what specifically it is, but it is a giant eyeball from what I know. And it basically absorbs all the memories of things, and when it gets enough of it, it'll create a new Fae.
Oh. Wait, if you lose memory when you go down and look at it, how do you know this?
I got information from someone else that did it. I never went down there.
That's good then.
But it seems logical.
I wonder,
so
do
Faes
you
are
think...
created based off of memories. That's what I was told by someone else, another Fae.
Do you
They
think...
said that they were created from the memories of a bunch of things.
Do you think that if I went down there with a blindfold on, that I would be able to be near it without losing my memory?
That is false. You would still lose your memory.
Dang.
Being even close to the shack would get rid of your memory. It is that strong of a being. Some Thays have been able to lose their memory, but not all of them. Thays are more immune to healing. So they can keep their memories more likely. A.K. Henrietta, they're a Thay.
Henrietta does seem to
Have
want
you
to
ever seen them
lure
lose their
people
memory?
over to it. So she might be
They
wanting
might be
to make
trying
a
to create
thing?
another Thay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll ask her about it
From
then.
what I've heard from Fox, the shadeling fox.
She does like
not,
teeth.
Not the fox that runs with like gold.
Mhm.
The one that likes the eyeballs fox. She told me that Thays are created from memories.
Mm-hmm.
And when enough memories are gathered in a single position, a Fae is born. And then based off of if they eat an eyeball, will determine what color, what they do, and how they act.
Well, that's specifically the shadelings with the eyeball thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Lou.
Is there anything else you want to know?
Do you know anything about orb magic?
Orb magic?
Okay. Do you know anything about the corruption or Nathan?
I know about corruption.
Okay. And you knew about, like, if
Nathan,
souls...
I'm not good with it.
If you don't know it, it's fine. You know about what happens if a soul is in town?
A soul is in town. Basic, not too much.
You know what happens to a soul that is brought into town?
A soul that's brought in town.
That doesn't have a body with it, it's just a soul?
I believe it gets absorbed.
Right. And what happens after that?
It gets cycled most likely through the barrier.
Well, what we know of is that if a soul is in town without a body, then it gets absorbed into something in the town, And then outside of town, a red flower will appear, and those red flowers are used to cure the corruption.
Okay. I mean, I would assume more likely that the soul would be put into the barrier. So, say for instance, one of us die, our soul will be put into the barrier, and it takes the life energy from the person to activate the barrier. Say for instance, someone dies and they technically have like 10 more years to live, the barrier will be active for another 10 years.
And what do you base this off of?
Random knowledge. I'm just thinking that may be more logical, because you know how many people died here? How is the barrier still active?
I mean, I'm not...
We each have a waypoint. And when we die, the waypoint disappears.
The sundial?
Sundial. Yeah. When we die, the sundial disappears, does it not?
Yeah. It's just... I don't know if
It absorbs all of our life energy and...
Probably something like that.
It'll create a flower as remembrance from the person that died, though.
Maybe. I think that could be reasonable.
At least that's what I'm saying.
Yes, hello?
Is there anything else you want to know?
You have, well, a redirected package. It was intended for Bryant.
Oh, yeah, I could take a mail for Bryant. I work at the farm.
He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a small wooden statue of a human woman.
Oh! Is it Mariana?
Did you know Remy?
I don't think so, no. But okay. This is for Mr. Bryant?
Yes.
She was the one that wore the rather strange clothes with lights on them.
You have any idea how little that narrows things down?
She talked about odd things like video games and television.
Now I know.
That narrows it down even less.
Who you're talking about?
Yeah, now I know. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen her in a bit.
As well.
I don't think I've seen her in quite a bit.
I haven't either.
Okay. Well, I can go put this in his house then. Thank you.
A post-bird's job is never done.
That is true.
I've never seen a bird like you before. What kind of bird are you?
I'm not actually a bird. And he opens his chest for the 4th time today, and you see a whole bunch of gears and clockwork, and in the middle there's a big fucking gem.
Oh, so you're a metal bird.
Yes.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Nirta, Kobold Druid of Dispores.
I am MDB 2388.
Okay, MDV 238.
You can call me Scout.
Okay, Scout.
They do this all the time.
You should probably just be referring to yourself as Scout.
But people are asking me what my name is, which would be my designation.
Yes, but
designation
most
name,
people
that is
aren't
true.
going to be able to remember it, so it's usually easier to just say Scout.
That's a nice scarf you got there. Did you make it?
Hello.
No, my creator made it.
Oh, sorry, we're blocking the doorway.
By chance,
Do you need into the tavern?
Need anything for me? Oh, you might need into the tavern. For all I know, you could be getting a drink.
All right, Scout.
I've been feeling quite a past since I've arrived here.
Is there anything specific you're looking for a specific drink? I can make it.
I generally just go for water.
Water?
Sure thing.
Lou, do you have permission from Lawrence to be doing this?
I'm just gonna grab a random cup I found on the table.
Well,
I'm gonna clean it out.
I'm gonna go put this up in Mr. Bryant's house. Thank you very much, Scout.
Dump it.
Have a good day.
I'm gonna use my magic and just do a string of water.
That's nice. A wooden statue of a lady. I guess it's somebody Mr. Bryant knows. Wait a second. I know this person. I think. What is it with people and making statues? This is like... So many people have done presents like that. Hopefully Miss Jenico doesn't come back and steals it. Really need to get a hold of her. Find out why she's doing the kidnapping thing of Mr. Bryant. Anyway. Let's take a look at the church and see what things we're going to do to it. If I'm going to make it a place to sort of reach out to the dreamer, I think it needs to be very comfortable so people can feel relaxed. Because right now it's kind of, I mean, it's very open. We've got a very open sort of layout here. I definitely need to resize things to like more fit me, because all of this is way too big. This is all way too big for me. But if we're going to do like communion and the sleeper kind of deals with our subconscious, then I'm gonna have to like probably give talks to people about how to be more friendly and maybe not to presume things about people. Probably be nice to have food too. People are always nicer when there's food around. I've noticed that. Maybe before a service I can have like Jojo make a nice platter of food and then bring that in here, and then I can talk to people while they eat, and that would give positive feelings. So maybe it should be very close to like the tavern or something. I also feel like the colors here are very down. I think some softer, nicer colors would be good. Like maybe this is what Oberon could help me with. It's having like pinks and purples. People feel calmer around the like spring kind of colors, I feel like. Whereas this is just kind of very, very sads-like. Maybe some banners. Mushrooms would help too. Get some mushrooms in here. I don't think people are turned away by the mushrooms. And this doesn't really scream, hey, this is where like the dreamer is, you know, it just kind of looks like a church. I would love to have like, I need to come up with a symbol. If someone was dreaming, then they're sleeping, so like their eyes are closed, but they're still thinking of things. So if it's like a closed eye, and then something else behind it doing something, that could be pretty good. Yeah. I need some way of telling the whole town that we're gonna do some service or something. I need like maybe something to make my voice really loud or make a really loud noise. Like a big bell or a gong Or maybe a drums? I could have like a big drums that I like hit on. Some things like that. Oh, a book. Oh, a book of all the things I want to teach people. That could be a good thing. That way if I ever can't give a service, I could at least have the book there and people come back and refer to it. I don't think it needs to be that big, but if I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of people show up, it'd be nice to have it be big just in case. But I don't want to have to like yell really loud every time I want to tell them things. It looks so small from here. You know? If it was taller, that'd be nice. Taller would be nice, but I think that's asking for a lot. How do you even make it taller? Adding things on and taking things away on the inside is one thing, but like changing this? Could be. Alright, well. I'm going to need to write down all the things I need. I'm going to need some colors. The Oberon might have the magic to just make the colors different. And then I can see if maybe the crafters can make me a big bell thing. And maybe some like a smaller stand or something. So that I can look at the book. And then I'm going to need a book and then write things down in it. So I'll need that. I probably need to change my outfit too. Probably need some new things there. But I'm getting tired. It might be getting close to time for me to end and go to bed.
Exploded when she saw that, and I traded that for the 6 outfits.
Sounds like Zek is getting along with them. If there's anybody that can get someone to open up, it's probably Miss JoJo. Like I said, getting food is a good way for somebody to feel more relaxed. And if I'm going to get the town to behave better, then doing that through food seems like a good idea to me. I'll get them all stuffed, and then they'll be happier. That might be putting a lot on Miss JoJo, but for some reason I get the feeling she would be okay with it. Just gotta hope we have enough time to deal with the dragons before they get here. Okay. Well, we did learn lots of things today. I need to go write it down in my diary. But first, why don't we take a little sleep? Maybe find out if Mr. Pips was able to talk to the Amethyst Dragon. I don't know if she could hear me if I tried to pray to her. We'll have to see. I'll see how Mr. Pips did before I try to do anything like that. But for now, why don't I go to bed? Alright, everyone. Yeah, Dragonhorn would be a good idea. She might think about that overnight. Pot stickers are probably your favorite food. They are damn good. Dumplings are fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We're a little bit past 1 a.m., but I haven't heard them mention anything, so I imagine something is going down in the forest right now. But since I'm not involved, I'm not going to hang around for an undetermined amount of time waiting for people to come back. So what we'll do is see if any of the other members are still streaming, and I'll raid into them. But I have to do that after I take my headset off. So I hope you enjoyed the stream today. I hope you had a lot of fun. But we're going to be going to the ending screen. I'm going to take off my VR and then raid out to someone. So as always, remember, take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Bye-bye.